Well, do they really think I'm going to interrupt the show to tell people, watch ESPN Live on Hulu? Come on, Steve. Do people tune into my show to hear me say, watch ESPN Live on Hulu?
No, they don't, Scott.
It's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. Tune into my show to hear me say, watch ESPN Live on Hulu.
No, they don't, Scott.
It's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. Tune into my show to hear me say,
back as we continue from
watch
the
ESPN
UFC
Live
Apex in Las Vegas. The busiest building in pro sports for my money. And we'll stay busy here at the Apex UFC end of 2020. Let's make this one official, and for that, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 32 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO, Sean Tarzan Strickland.
Sean Strickland in the win column again. That makes it 3 straight wins spanning 2 years. Of course, he was in the motorcycle accident after a win in 2018. Dusted it off with a nice victory 2 weeks ago, and here he is once again back in Las Vegas. Gets Brendan Allen out of there in less than 2 rounds, Michael. Not bad for a fighter turned pro at 16 years old. Still just 29, and yeah, he's a contender here.
No, he's absolutely a contender. As I said, he said in the gym he has the potential to be one of the best in the world. And now we're seeing that crossover to the octagon. It takes a lot of time to, to achieve that, to get that kind of comfortability inside the octagon. There he is. Sean's never short of things to say, let me tell you. But listen, tonight, his skills did all the talking, because that was a fantastic performance. And here it is. He just stood there chipping away, not winding up on every shot. Nice front kick to the face. The 1-2 were money. The straight shots, the jabs, the right hands after it, and just the frequency and the tempo of the combinations. That one connected, that put Brendan down, and then he went in for the kill, and that was it. As I say, tremendous performance. Let's take a look at it one more time. That 1-2, that was the money all night long. And if you... Are you feeling Sean Strickland? Congratulations once again. 2 weeks later, you are back here. You just got a fantastic win over your toughest performance to date. As I say, how you feeling?
Bro, it feels good. I really wanted to finish that guy. I know he's never really been dropped or knocked out, especially in the bigger shows. And all I wanted to do was to finish him.
Do me a favor, take your mouthpiece out, please,
Sean.
Yeah. No problem.
Sorry about that. This is my 1776 when we beat you guys. And
all right, buddy. Moving on. Listen, as I said, best performance of the night so far for you. I mean, best performance of your career. You said a couple of weeks ago, if you fight the way you fight in the gym, you could be champion of the world one day. Now, I'm assuming you're happy with that performance?
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for improvement. He hit me a couple more than I'd like to admit, but. I'm my worst critic. I'll watch the footage, I'll be mad at everything I did, and we'll go back to the drawing board and just get better.
Well, there's not too much to be mad about. Why don't you take a look at the screen and walk us through the finish?
Oh, yeah, no. I hit him, and I could just see that, the lights were on, but nobody's home. And at that moment, when you hit somebody, it feels so good, and they go limp. It's time to finish it, try to get that bonus, But that guy had a chin on him, man. I'll tell you that. He took everything I got, and he just kept coming forward. But, yeah, his body went limp, and it was time to go for the kill.
Well, you certainly did hit him. You hit him many, many times. So that's 2 fights in 2 weeks. When do you want to make it back to the octagon again?
I'd like to get back and get on my cardio a little bit, Not doing anything for 2 weeks was kind of rough on my cardio this fight. It was kind of going in there, and I was questioning a little bit. So it'll be nice to get a full camp next time and maybe improve my position and climb the rankings.
Well, that was a great performance, Sean. And after that tonight, we can't wait to see you back in there again. Congratulations,
Thank you,
Sean Strickland.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, fans.
So after a career at welterweight, he moved up to middleweight when he took on Jack Martian a couple of weeks ago. 2 wins, not bad for Sean Strickland. 1 week from tonight, we are back on pay-per-view for UFC 255. Flyweights rule the day on both the men's and women's side. And in the night's co-headliner, one of the world's most dangerous women and without question, one of the most dominant fighters in the sport, Valentina Shevchenko, ready to show why her belt is staying put for a long time coming.
Fighting out of Curitiba, Brazil, the shoot box team that has produced veterans like Anderson Silva. Say hello to Jennifer Maia.
Eu treino na chute box desde que eu iniciei na arte marcial.
She is a black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's also a Muay Thai black belt. She's got a lot of skills.
Quando entrei no UFC, o meu objetivo era lutar pelo título. Eu não queria só ser mais uma. Eu quero disputar o que é o topo ali, que é ser campeã.
Oh, man, Maya's putting them together.
Então, minha luta contra Calderwood, que estava a ponto de disputar o título, e pensei, não, agora é a hora de eu mostrar o que eu sei, né?
Oh, as the tab, Jennifer Maia! First round submission victory! Huge performance for the Brazilian!
Eu acho que essa luta contra a Valentina vai ser uma luta muito dura, mas eu acredito que eu posso surpreender a todos.
I've been in martial arts all my life. I started 5 years old, so 27 years doing what I'm doing every day.
You want to talk about a woman with combat sports experience? I don't think anybody has more than her.
17-time World Muay Thai and K1 champion, Valentina Shevchenko.
It's my lifestyle. Martial arts is everything, and this is my motivation to be the best.
Show me what you got. Her technique is so crisp. Whether it's her kicks, her takedowns, her submissions, she is as good a mixed martial artist as you're ever going to see.
The most important is the victory.
Oh, sliced her right open.
I have a tunnel vision. I have myself. I have my opponent.
And still the best in the world by a mile, Valentina Shevchenko.
Valentina é uma atleta muito inteligente, muito dura. Ela coloca um certo medo para cima das adversárias. Eu quero tirar o conforto dela na luta e mostrar que eu estou pronta para ser a campeã no momento.
You can be black belt of all styles in the world, but it doesn't matter.
Oh my God. Oh
Valentina Shevchenko.
What matters is who you face. I will show my skills, my technique, my power, everything.
Ela é a campeã, então é eu que vou ter que buscar a vitória o tempo todo. Meu braço será erguido ao final da luta e eu vou sair de lá como a campeã.
I go into the octagon to win the fight and to keep my belt forever.
In MMA, so often it's about expecting the unexpected, but when the UFC created a flyweight division on the women's side, a lot of people expected Valentina Shevchenko to dominate it, and she has passed the test every single time out. She goes for yet another title fight victory against Jennifer Maia. Her last action was in Houston back in February. Valentina Shevchenko, once again, the heavy favorite against Jennifer Maia.
And the scary thing is, Shevchenko just gets better and better with every single time out. This lady has zero weaknesses inside the octagon. Look at the explosion that she executes these takedowns, the head kicks, the spinning back kicks, and on the floor, she has incredible jiu-jitsu. She is one of the best martial artists on the planet, male or female, and I cannot wait to see her in action again.
On the other side, is this the fighter that pulls the upset? Jennifer Maia has been a champion outside the octagon. She was highly touted when she came to the UFC. And how about a finish over JoJo Calderwood to earn this title shot?
Yeah, absolutely. A tough, hard-fought victory over Joanna Calderwood, who was supposed to fight Shevchenko. So she earned this shot the hard way, and she's looking to shock the world. Valentina Shevchenko is the best in the world, but Jennifer Maia needs to go out there, shock the world, and do what Holly Holm did many years ago.
Flyweights on parade. Davison Figueiredo and Alex Perez in our main event for the men's flyweight title. Valentina Shevchenko tries to defend hers against Jennifer Maia. And you also have Mike Perry taking on Tim Means. Also another interesting flyweight matchup between Brandon Moreno and Brandon Royval in the featured prelim, which just could produce the next title contender in that weight class. Should be a great night coming up next Saturday, November 21st, 10 Eastern on ESPN+. These Locker Room Shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Up next, a strawweight bout. Ashley Yoder ready to stay busy. Second walk to the octagon in 3 months for the veteran who's looking to ride the wave of momentum after her teammate just won on the Contender Series a couple of weeks back. She draws Miranda Danger Granger, a fellow West Coaster from Washington State who has remained eager to get back to action. She does so next as we continue on ESPN+.
Place your legal sports bet at BetRivers.com, your new home for basketball betting. The most basketball betting options on the sport you love. We offer live in-game betting on every game in the U.S. We have tons of bets available during games, from money lines, total points, quarter bets, halftime wagers, and many more. Use one of our easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we pay fast. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis, little things can become your big moment. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, 75% clearer skin is achievable with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. For psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
For Terrence Bud Crawford, it is time.
It's happening. It's got feeling. It's got groove. Power to the people. It's got nothing to lose.
The skill, the power, the speed.
Yeah, try for it.
Total package is Crawford.
Crawford gets up. That man is the best in the world. Whatever it is, whatever it be, you just go at it.
I just believe in winning, and that's what I do.
Hey, back in Las Vegas, the Irish Dragon is here. Paul Felder with a message
Ashling,
to the fans.
Christine, Mom, Tommy, John, I love you guys. Let's do this. Dad, right here.
Shouting out the family, including his father who passed away a few years ago, Tom Felder, and Rafael dos Anjos. Quite an opportunity for Felder. RDA has been getting it done for years, a former champion in this division, which he returns to tonight after a run at welterweight, which got him an interim title shot. Says he's not just in it to keep taking fights and cashing checks. He wants his belt back. Well, if you're ready to dive into the strategy and techniques ahead of UFC 255 next week, you want to watch Unlocking Victory debuting tomorrow on ESPN Plus with Dominic Cruz and Gilbert Melendez. The guys get into the octagon and demonstrate what each fighter needs to do to get the win. In this sneak peek, Dom demonstrates how Joaquin Buckley, who's back in the octagon on the prelims, pulled off the knockout of the year.
What he does is he keeps his kick range and he fires this kick at the body. Right when he fires it, this is a good defense. This is a technical, typical defense. You block it, you catch it, and then generally what happens is after the catch, this guy fires a right hand, and then they end up getting here, or they knock you down with the right hand. What Buckley did is he got it caught, and this man kind of hesitated for just a moment. That allowed him to get this foot from this position where his toes were facing this way and twist. Now that he's facing this direction, I can kick my leg back like a horse kick.
A moment that will live on UFC highlight reels for decades from Joaquin Buckley. All right, but fight action continues here in the strawweight division. No strangers to the ups and downs of the fight game. Ashley Yoder knows the best way to secure victory is to do it before the scorecards are read. And a finish is what she's shooting for against Miranda Granger.
Training in martial arts since the age of 4, Taekwondo black belt Miranda Granger has long had her sights set on the UFC. And after winning her first 6 MMA bouts, she hit her mark with a win over Hannah Goldie in August of 2019. Now seeking her second octagon victory, Danger Granger will have to go into deep waters to get it when she faces Ashley Yoder. With a mix of talent and Midwest grit, Indiana native Yoder has been going to battle with the elite in the UFC for the last 4 years. And she's determined to leave Las Vegas with a win tonight. Coming up next, Ashley Spider Monkey Yoder squares off against Miranda Danger Granger.
Place your legal sports bet at BetRivers.com, your new home for basketball betting. The most basketball betting options on the sport you love. We offer live in-game betting on every game in the U.S. We have tons of bets available during games, from money lines, total points, quarter bets, halftime wagers, and many more. Use one of our easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we pay fast. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com.
Is the salmon wild caught?
She only eats wild caught.
I need a price check on honey.
Don't get mad, get E-Trade and get more than just trading. Investing, banking, guidance.
Today, foodies everywhere are combining new ingredients with old favorites. That's why they're using Tony Chachere's famous Creole seasoning blends. They add big flavor to your favorite recipes, and that's worth sharing. Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great.
On-demand glucose monitoring, another life-changing technology from Abbott. So you don't wait for life, you live it.
Tonight, we begin this 2020 season playing in front of a bunch of cardboard cutouts.
How gratifying is tonight? It's amazing to be back.
Is this as weird for you guys as it is for us?
3.7 seconds remaining.
Come on.
Doncic pulls up, three-pointer.
What is this? It's another ad read. These things are getting out of control. Do they really think I'm going to interrupt the show to tell people, watch ESPN Live on Hulu? Come on, Steve. Do people tune into my show to hear me say, watch ESPN Live on Hulu?
No, they don't, Scott.
It's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. I'm a man of principle. Never. Ever. I might. I don't know.
With Schneider's new Freight Power app, search and instantly book reliable freight with the tap of a finger, so you never have to wonder where you'll find your next load. Download the Schneider Freight Power app today.
Next season starts now. Teams are definitely buckling up for a wild ride as teams look for the player that will bring them to the next level. It's a deep draft. The #1 pick is wide open. The NBA Draft on ESPN.
Ready for this strawweight matchup? Here's our tale of the tape between Ashley Yoder and Miranda Granger. Yoder is 5 years older at 33 years old. Both fighters are 5 feet 7 inches tall. It's a small 1.5-inch reach advantage for the Spider Monkey, Ashley Yoder. For the introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC strawweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 7 wins, 1 loss. She stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 115.5 pounds. Fighting out of Everett, Washington, Miranda Danger Granger. And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 7 wins, 6 losses. She stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 115 pounds. Fighting out of Temecula, California, Ashley Spider Monkey Yoder. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog set to man the octagon between Miranda Granger and Ashley Yoder. 8th UFC appearance for that woman in the blue, Ashley Yoder, who's the plus 135 underdog in this matchup. Miranda Granger in black will be minus 160 as the favorite. This fight clock is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Touch of gloves, 3 possible rounds at strawweight.
Yeah, I think the key to victory for Yoda, as I mentioned when she was walking in, is the wrestling. You know, she's got excellent wrestling ability. Often finds a way to get the fight to the ground. But right when I said that, she threw a beautiful left hand that found the mark. But here we are, potential head and arm throw.
Meanwhile, Taekwondo was how Miranda Granger got into the martial arts. Started in that discipline at 4 years old. Her father is a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. And her father, Gordon, is actually in her corner tonight for Miranda Granger. Real team effort, real family effort. Her husband, Caden, also in the corner, and her coach, Charlie Pearson, has been with her since she was 4 years old.
That was really nicely defended by Granger there. Obviously, that was a key battle. If she was taken down nice and early, you know, it would have been bad news for her. Oh, almost tried to jump to the back. How about that?
Some acrobatics there from Yoder. Granger able to shake it off, and they return to the feet.
If she got those hooks in, that would have been incredible. It was a good try, though.
Yoder was excited to stay busy in this matchup. She last fought here in Las Vegas in August at UFC 252 on the Stipe Cormier trilogy card. After about 10 months off, they come together for an exchange.
See, Granger's moving really well here. She landed a nice calf kick and then backed away. Landed a solid straight left there, but there it is, the first takedown for Ashley Yoder. She's got that head and arm position. She's going to try and step over, but the fence is there, trying to get the mount. It's kind of a bad position here, because if Miranda can pop that head out, she can take the back. It's always kind of dangerous when you do the head and arm like this.
Keep on working here, fellas.
Jason Herzog leans in with the warning, wants some activity. He gets it.
Some activity. They've only been down there 5 seconds. So Miranda's got the underhook. She's trying to work up here. As I say, it's a tricky one because now technically Miranda is in control. She has that underhook nice and deep, and a beautiful job there of scrambling and then getting top position. Really nice work. Potential knee bar though. Ashley's kind of got that locked in. She's got to push the hips forward and obviously pull the foot towards her while simultaneously extending the hips. And Miranda's got to be careful. The angle isn't correct here for Ashley. In fact, it's almost gone. The danger of the knee bar is pretty much eradicated now. It's gone.
Hammer fist from the bottom for Yoder there after she ate one. Under 2 minutes to go in round 1 here. Good night for some strawweights to stand out. We had Kanako Murata from Japan make her UFC debut and a nice victory over Randa Marcos. And then Kay Hansen, Corey McKenna, standout prospects with Corey McKenna getting the win.
Yeah, a lot of strawweights on display tonight. Doing the division proud as well.
Granger has dominant position back and now working the body on the ground. Yoder gets the full guard. We'll see what she tries to attack from the bottom.
Look at that. Nice display of strength there. Abdominal strength sat up. Granger's got to get busy. She's on top position. She's got to make the most out of this. Just burying the head isn't enough.
Oh, big hammer fist.
That's more like it. That's good work.
And another
again,
one.
Like a forearm that time. Jason Herzog is not messing about, gave them another warning there. Let's keep fighting. We see here Miranda's trying to pass guard, pushing to the side, but she's in the triangle.
Attempt here.
She's going to pull down on the head, transitioning to an armbar as well. Oh, this is close.
Yoder really trying to crank here. She's got 30 seconds left to do it.
Now she's going to focus on the triangle. The arm is gone, but it's a weird angle. See the legs of Miranda? That's what's giving her problems here. She's got to clear those legs so she can sit up and then get flat on her back and then really put pressure on with the triangle, but the elbow of Miranda, you see it there, kind of in the crotch position. She's going to pull that through. Once that elbow gets through, the threat of the triangle is completely gone.
Well, she can breathe just fine, so she'll ride out the final seconds of round 1 just like this. Round 2 coming up.
Place your legal sports bet at BetRivers.com, your new home for basketball betting. The most basketball betting options on the sport you love. We offer live in-game betting on every game in the U.S. We have tons of bets available during games, from money lines, total points, quarter bets, halftime wagers, and many more. Use one of our easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we pay fast. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com.
Oh, he's out. Davison Figueiredo is the new flyweight champion. Wow. He's out. Wow, big performance. Alex Perez, the best in the world. Valentina Shevchenko.
Jennifer Maia. This Brazilian is not to be taken lightly.
Next Saturday, UFC 255 is yours on pay-per-view. 2 titles are on the line. Davison Figueiredo looks to make his first title defense against Dana White's Contender Series along Alex Perez, plus Valentina Shevchenko, Jennifer Maia for the women's 125-pound title. UFC 255 available for purchase only on ESPN+. Ready for round number 2. Ashley Yoder's in the blue, Miranda Granger in the black. Each had their moments through the first 5 minutes. There you see Jared Vandera chiming in for his teammate at a Team Quest in California, Ashley Yoder. Vandera winning his bout on Dana White's Contender Series a couple of weeks back. First round knockout, and he's got a date against Sergey Spivak coming up in December. Cheyenne Bays, she's awaiting her UFC debut.
Oh, look at this.
Getting the contract. Long
She's got that arm tied up. She came really close with that knee to the face there. Miranda I'm talking about. And now we see Ashley trying to get that head and arm again. Pushed her up against the fence, going to chip away with knees, and then look to take her down.
Needed the body from Granger and trying to get some space between her and Yoder. Fighting along the fence continues from the clinch.
Let's go off the cage now. Are you going to take her down off the cage? She's trying to hold you there.
This is really nice work by Miranda. Managed to turn it round, landed some good knees and a couple of good elbows there. It's clear that Ashley's looking for the takedown, but as I say, Miranda is kind of bossing these situations.
Trying to explode out of it. And locking the hands is Yoder to try to keep this fight close. Looked like she went for another throw, but unsuccessful. Granger able to keep the feet, now trying to shoulder her way out.
And she's doing a good job of chipping away with those knees and the shoulder there. You know, those knees, they don't look too punishing, but let me tell you, one after the other, they really start to mount up, and Ashley took a big chance there and paid the price. You see, she's kind of in the position for a knee bar once again.
You on top at once. Keep away from her and facing her. You go on top.
Big risk reward with that move. Granger almost just went down and had the full back. Yoder's kind of neutralized it a little bit.
Miranda's controlling that hand. She needs that hand free to threaten with the knee bar, but she's not aware of it. She's not going for it whatsoever. She's trying to turn into her, but she's got to be careful because Miranda's going to come out and take the back. She's kind of in control here. Ashley needs to swim that left arm around and try and cross-face Miranda. That'll stop her from getting an advantageous position. Yeah, the left arm is kind of underneath the head. It's got to be in front of the head. There it is, trying to do it there. Get the forearm in front of the face. But they're kind of twisted and tied up in a weird position here.
I was just going to say, whose leg is whose down there? Just a pile of long legs between these two.
Yes, yes. There we go.
Nice work by Ashley.
Under 2 minutes left. Granger now trying to throw the legs up and perhaps throw a submission attempt in there. Unsuccessful, and Yoder with the top control here.
Yeah, let's see what she can do now. This is a more of a traditional position. We've seen some crazy transitions, some unusual positions here tonight, but this is, you know, classic half guard now. She's on top. She's got good pressure. But Ashley's got to go to work. She's not doing much with this position. You see Jason Herzog, you mentioned right there, got to do some work. And to be honest, she's not doing enough. She has her down. She's in a great position. Now it's time to take advantage of it. At the very least, use the left elbow and elbow the thigh, because they really hurt. But she's not doing much. She's just content with having the control. And meanwhile, Miranda's trying to lock up that Kimura.
Shout out to the NFL's Ryan Clark and his hips and joints who are hurting after seeing all this flexibility. Under a minute to go, round 2. Yoder still in top position here. Granger really looking for a way out. She's got that right arm, but
yeah, the problem is though she's got the half guard on the wrong side. She's not going to get this Kimura here because hasn't got the torque and to really finish the movement. As I say, she's got her in the wrong side of half guard.
Just keep it working here, fighters.
And there's Herzog again. Got to keep it moving. And he's right. Ashley's got to do more here.
Nearly 2 minutes of control time for Yoder here in round 2. Granger had almost 2 minutes in the first round. Time running out here to put a stamp on this round for either of these fighters. Shots to the body from Yoder to the horn. Round 3's coming up.
We always gonna be bonded.
Are you ready to bear down on Monday night?
That's all we got at this moment right here, today.
Can Foles catch some magic for a playoff push?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Can the Vikings knock off a fierce division rival?
Win your battle each and every play, one play at a time.
Mac is ready to be a game wrecker. And Cook is ready to be a game changer. Are you ready for Monday night?
With Schneider's new Freight Power app, search and instantly book reliable freight with the tap of a finger, so you never have to wonder where you'll find your next load. Download the Schneider Freight Power app today.
Brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Ashley Yoder, Miranda Granger.
On around, fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Fight!
Trevor Whitman, the veteran coach, is with us all night long. Trevor, your thoughts after 10 minutes?
Well, this fight is becoming stalemate. It's almost like they're getting through the rounds. I think they need to think finish. And what I mean by that is they got to get in and engage. Like this right here, this is much better. Going into a round where you're 1-1, you don't know which direction it's going. These girls got to take chances. And
guys,
I mean,
I
if
will
I
give
was
my
in the
life
corner,
for this
I would have
one.
been really getting into them to get them to come out like this. I think they both know it.
Don't heal me.
Literally.
Show them the might.
Yeah, that's right, Trevor. You got to get your fight.
It's the only way. We have to sacrifice a Thunder Fury to get a Thunder Fury.
That stress, that sacrifice.
Wait, don't heal me.
To not actually
No, now it's not going to drop. Okay, we're going to have to check the healing logs, and it's going to be their fault if it doesn't drop.
2 months of your life to just go out there and lie on top of someone, Trev?
Yep. Oh my! No way! No way, dude! What? It actually works! No! Heck, dude!
Halfway to giving up the
I don't care if you kill anything. We can all fucking die.
Hey, dude. Hey, DJ's getting a promotion, dude. I don't know. Dude, what are the chances? Dude!
Jason Herzog, he's looking. All he's thinking right now is, when should I stand them up? You got to say to
Did he die?
No. Don't stand me up. I'm going to finish this.
You know what?
I'm going for a submission. I'm trying to do the damage.
Tech, are you there?
Send the message to the referee and to your opponent. Listen, I'm a step ahead, and I'm going to win this fight.
Yeah, I was like, did he die? Stranger.
Yeah, I agree, Mike.
What?
This is about
wow.
Oh my God.
What?
Right now, they could
What the hell? No way!
What the fuck?
Are you serious, dude?
What the fuck?
like this. There's no way. How? They have to be joking.
Weirdly enough, opportunities present themselves.
Dude, hey, some
No, of course,
gift
you know,
100
you
subs
can
to eye
imagine, of course,
drops.
there's always
Yeah, I will
submissions.
gift
It's not
100
the
subs to
only
eye
way.
drops.
But it does speed things up, and it makes it more.
Oh my God.
If Ashley steps that right leg over and sits
Are you
back,
serious?
there's a good potential of an
What the
armbar.
hell
Of
just
course, Miranda
happened?
has her arms crossed. She's anticipating the armbar
Dude,
already.
how?
So she's
I have to give 100 subs.
Ashley can't support her hip so that she's 90
How?
degrees. She needs to be perpendicular.
Dude, there is literally like a 0.0027% chance this happens.
Nice riding there.
Like,
Good job, and they're good
long time no
elbows.
see, man.
And
So,
this is
lady,
much better work by
100
Ashley.
gifted subs to lady.
Putting a stamp on this third round.
Abernathy, Ben Luntz, thanks Abernathy. The underscore Napoleon with the Twitch Prime. Hassel, the 300 bits. Helicross, 5 subs to lady. 100 gifted subs from Salady, dude.
Chipping away with that right hand.
The weekly guild fee, it is now 50
Yes. Time for Yoder to lock something up. It's like Trevor knows what he's talking about. The ground and pound led to the arm almost getting under the neck. How about that? Yoder staying busy here. Timeout for Ashley Yoder.
See, that's the thing as well. When you start punching them like that, what they do, they turn, they give up their back. And when they turn and give up the back, that presents the rear naked choke. And to Trevor's point entirely, that all starts with raining down blows. Now she has a body triangle from behind, which is absolutely excruciating and just sucks the wind out of you. And she's trying to get that rear naked choke, trying to do everything she can to get the finish. The problem is, Miranda's so like kind of like curled up in a little ball. Nothing's really presenting itself. But she just needs to get that left arm under the chin. If I was actually had roll to her back, actually, roll to her back, and then she'll have a much easier time.
Trying to isolate the right arm now of Granger. Granger just trying anything to get herself free, and the pressure of Yoder has been too much for this third round. After tonight's main event, don't miss a recap of all the action on the UFC Fight Night post-show on ESPN+. Heidi Andral joins Michael Chiesa and myself to break it all down after the main event, only on ESPN+. Ashley Yoder put some finishing touches on this one.
Yeah, this is nice work. This is a great round for her. A lot of control, doing damage, threatening a finish the whole time. She's trying to get it. And there's still 15 seconds. I'm telling you, she might get this. Because every time she punches, the chin comes up in the air. 5 seconds.
Oh, neck is
Wait
exposed
for
for Granger.
She's gonna tap.
Final seconds.
Wow!
The horn saves the day, but a huge third round for Ashley Yoder. We'll find out who wins this strawweight matchup when we come back.
Place your legal sports bet at BetRivers.com, your new home for basketball betting. The most basketball betting options on the sport you love. We offer live in-game betting on every game in the U.S. We have tons of bets available during games, from money lines, total points, quarter bets, halftime wagers, and many more. Use one of our easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we pay fast. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com.
Today, foodies everywhere are combining new ingredients with old favorites. That's why they're using Tony Chachere's famous Creole seasoning blends. They add big flavor to your favorite recipes, and that's worth sharing. Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great.
UFC Fight Night is presented by the U.S. Army. A couple of fights left here, including a co-main event up next in the welterweight division, and of course our main event between Paul Felder and Rafael dos Anjos. I believe the decision is in, and for that we send it inside the octagon to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 30-26, 29-27, and 27-26 for the winner by unanimous decision, Ashley Spider Monkey Yoder.
Unanimous decision for Ashley Yoder, who gets her first victory here in 2020. And back in the win column for the veteran from California in her 8th UFC appearance. Some interesting scorecards there, but nonetheless, huge final round for Ashley Yoder, which sealed the deal.
Yeah, listen, that third round, very, very dominant. And, you know, Miranda was clearly saved by the bell. That rear naked choke was locked in. She managed to, you know, just grind out the rest of the round. But had there been another 10, 15 seconds, we would have seen a tap. So clearly, Ashley deserved to win that fight. And the third round was an excellent performance. Took her a little time to get going, but still, once she found the groove and had that sense of urgency, she looked great.
Well, the submission game is where her bread is buttered, so to speak. She's got 4 wins by submission and, you know, perhaps just another 3 seconds or 5 seconds at most away from notching another submission victory. But a big performance for Ashley Yoder, who will take a victory with her back to Temecula, California.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the action. Both ladies, when they were on the feet, did some good work. See Miranda there landing some good shots, and there it is, the first head and arm of the evening. Boom, down goes Miranda. Nice front kick to the midsection there. Both ladies very tall for the division, but there it is, more of a traditional takedown. She put her down and landed straight into side control, and then from there it was just one-way traffic. Clear domination, took the mount, landed some excellent ground and pounder to Trevor Whitman, and Whitman's point again. Landed some good shots and then set up that rear naked choke. And of course, if there was just a few more seconds, I think we would have seen a tap, but still got to give credit to Miranda there for not tapping. She was clearly in a lot of pain there.
Former castmate of The Ultimate Fighter way back season 23. The Ultimate Fighter coming back next year. Ashley Yoder with Michael.
Ashley Yoder, congratulations on a hard-fought victory. Obviously coming in here tonight, wrestling was part of the game plan, but Jason Herzog, he was quick to try and stand you up. What did you make of that?
You know, I think every fight is different with me. Sometimes I look like an elite striker, and then sometimes you see my ground excel. Through and through, you know, I love jiu-jitsu so much. I love learning MMA in total. You know, I started it as an MMA fighter, and I plan to be like that till the day I die. It's just, you know, learning on the job. You have to sacrifice something to get something else. And man, I have so much work to do. I had to do because I forgot to check inside leg kicks, and it was like an agreement I had. So yeah, I have a lot of work to do, but man, in Vegas, I got the
on the cardio, because as you said, you were doing burpees, and you mentioned the jiu-jitsu. That was clearly on display in the third round. You managed to lock in the rear naked choke. I'm assuming you think if you had another 10, 15 seconds, you would have got the submission.
Yeah, well, you know, I like to be MMA. I want to do that ground and pound. Sometimes, you know, you go for submissions and they don't always go for, because we're all slippery. But yeah, I do believe if we had a couple more, at least 5 more seconds, I was pushing my hips in, and I think she was pretty tired, but she's a tough girl.
Well, either way, congratulations on a dominant victory. Ashley Yoder, everybody.
Thank you.
Ashley Yoder with a big victory. She actually trained with Corey McKenna and Kanako Murata in advance of this fight up at CSA in Northern California. She takes a victory with her back home. UFC and ESPN are saluting America's heroes for their incredible sacrifice and service to our country. We're proud to support veterans as they transition to the civilian workforce through partnerships with American corporate partners, as well as disabled American veterans who are holding career fairs to connect veterans with employment opportunities. A heartfelt thank you to all of our active military and veterans for your courage and commitment to our country. All right, let's get back into UFC 255 coming up next week. Here's your main event, Deiveson Figueiredo. Man, he has been dominant, and he was this past summer on Fight Island. To get the belt officially, he welcomes the hard-charging Alex Perez for the 125-pound title. Deiveson Figueiredo, I mean, you don't meet a flyweight with this much power very often. He's shown it in the octagon.
Not only does he have the power, he has the skills to go with it, but just a natural nastiness that I haven't seen for a long time inside the octagon. And you mentioned the win over Benavidez on Fight Island. I mean, man, that was just sensational. Joseph took some heavy shots here. I mean, this man hits like a middleweight, just tremendous power. And as I say, he's not a one-trick pony. The man is a well-rounded mixed martial artist.
Alex Perez on the other side could make history. Could be the first Dana White's Contender Series alum to win UFC gold. That's what's on the line for him next week.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy to see the progress of this man. It wasn't that long ago, as you said, on the Contender. Now here he is, and he's going to look to take Davison Figueiredo down, matching for power, matching for jiu-jitsu. And this is just a tremendous fight. I mean, look at that. One calf kick, sits him down. Again, very evenly matched on paper.
He has been coming hard in 2020, including a performance of the night victory to start his year. And now he's in the main event on a pay-per-view against Davison Figueiredo, UFC 255. Yours next week. Figueiredo looking to make his first title defense against the Contender Series alum Perez. Plus, Valentina Shevchenko, Jennifer Maia, women's 125-pound title on the line as well. UFC 255 available for purchase only through ESPN+. Up next, our co-main event figures to be explosive. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, one of the fastest workers in the UFC, has 6 wins in less than a minute in his career and only knows how to win by knockout. But how about this for a counterpart? He earned the nickname Chaos as a kid. Chaos Williams backed it up in his UFC debut with a knockout in less than 30 seconds. If you like action, I wouldn't miss what's coming up next in our co-main events.
We're always going to be bonded.
Got a great run. Thank you for our last dance.
For Terrence Bud Crawford, it is time.
It's happening. It's got feeling. It's got groove. Power to the people. It's got nothing to lose.
The skill, the power, the speed.
Yeah, try for it.
Total package is Crawford.
Crawford gets up. That man is the best in the world. Whatever it is, whatever it be, you just go at it.
I just believe in winning, and that's what I do.
With Schneider's new Freight Power app, view available drivers and assign loads just like that, so you can keep your drivers moving and avoid downtime. Download the Schneider Freight Power app today.
The Fighter Williams, Abdul Razak Al Hassan.
Oh! That's it, it's over. Chaos! Oh! Abdul Razak Al Hassan! Oh! And there is the definitive end.
After that sizzle, you ready for this co-main event? I think so. Heavy hands are set to fly between these two exciting welterweights. A 27-second knockout put Detroit's Chaos Williams on the map earlier this year. Now he's in tonight's co-main event with a fellow knockout artist to the highest degree, Abdul Razak Al Hassan.
Power punchers of the highest order, Abdul Razak Al Hassan and Chaos Williams aren't fond of leaving their fate in the hands of the judges. And their habit of seeking the earliest finish possible is expected to be in full effect once again as they square off in this can't-miss welterweight bout.
He in trouble tonight because, hey, I'm hungry. You know, I'm hungry. I'm here, man. I'm ready to show the fans that I'm here. I'm ready to show the world that I'm here. You know, they didn't let the ox into the UFC, man. It's not personal, it's just punishment.
Every time I step into the octagon, my mission is to stop anybody and everybody in front of me.
Certainly living up to his adopted first name in his octagon debut in February, Chaos Williams makes his first start since a 27-second win over Alex Morono when he faces Abdul Razak Al Hassan tonight. And while Williams' 7-fight winning streak will be put to the test, expect the proud Detroit product to match his foe punch for punch.
I love when people sleep on me because when they sleep on you, you know, I just let the doctor wake them up. You know, one thing about it is, you know, being an underdog, which I'm coming in being an underdog, you know, they never see you coming. So you can keep sleeping on me. It just made me grind even harder, made me even want it even more.
One of the most ferocious punchers on the UFC roster, Abdul Razak Al Hassan has ended all 10 of his pro wins by knockout in the first round, with none of those victories lasting more than 4 minutes and 21 seconds, making the fight game adage, don't blink, a loud and clear calling card in this fight.
I'm known for being a berserker, you know. I just come in and I just keep throwing. till you go down, you know, or knock out others, because that's what I like to do.
Place your legal sports bet at BetRivers.com, your new home for basketball betting. The most basketball betting options on the sport you love. We offer live in-game betting on every game in the U.S. We have tons of bets available during games, from money lines, total points, quarter bets, halftime wagers, and many more. Use one of our easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we pay fast. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com.
Hey, my name is Dante, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nuggets is the authentic taste of it. You can tell it's freshly breaded, seasoned perfectly, and it just has this unique taste that compares to no other. Once I bite into it,
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
On-demand glucose monitoring, another life-changing technology from Abbott. So you don't wait for life, you live it.
Get everything on your list worry-free with contactless shopping at Target. From same-day delivery to free drive-up. Quick and easy contactless shopping, all season at Target.
For Terrence Bud Crawford, it is time.
It's happening. It's got feeling. It's got groove. Power to the people. It's got nothing to lose.
The skill, the power, the speed.
Yeah, try for it.
Total package is Crawford. Crawford gets up. That man is the best in the world.
Whatever it is, whatever it be, you just go at it.
I just believe in winning, and that's what I do.
To the Pittsburgh native supporting a different black and gold.
Hey, come on, scarf up.
The fan a walk from Wrigley Field who's just as drawn to the octagon.
No, not now, no.
And the Indiana man who bleeds magic blue.
Kenny should have won a title.
You're the reason we're here.
Yeah, I just wish you weren't like here.
If tennis is your cup of tea,
You guys know Naomi?
or fantasy is your priority,
No, do your own research.
this is your stream. ESPN Plus. It exists because you do.
With Schneider's new Freight Power app, view available drivers and assign loads just like that, so you can keep your drivers moving and avoid downtime. Download the Schneider Freight Power app today.
Doncic wins the game at the buzzer.
Welcome back on ESPN Plus. You're looking at Abdul Razak Al Hassan as he dances his way to the octagon, wearing the flag of his native Ghana. He's moved to the United States a handful of years ago, originally lived in Minnesota. His coach then took a job down in Texas, so he moved down to Texas. This is a lifelong judo practitioner, but you wouldn't really know it because this guy doesn't exactly use, technique and proper judo. He goes in there and he knocks you out in the first round more often than not.
Yeah, because knocking people out with one shot is a lot less effort than using judo to throw somebody to the floor. And that's truly what he has. Natural, God-given, one-punch power. But he said, listen, and he spoke about it earlier, I can't always be the berserker. That's what people expect of me. They expect me to go out and just throw with reckless abandon, but I can't do that all the time. I have a high fight IQ. Now, on his opponent, Chaos Williams, as he said, I know he's like me. I know he does what I do, but let's see how his chin holds up.
Tonight's Fighting Spirit stats are sponsored by Cerveza Modelo, and for Al Hassan, it's just off the charts with how quickly he can get things done. His total fight time in 12 fights in his pro career is 45 minutes. That's an average of less than 4 minutes per fight. He's got 6 finishes in under 1 minute, and the longest win he's ever had is 4 minutes and 21 seconds. Speaking of quick work, Chaos Williams, how about that? Just staring down his opponent right now in the octagon. He made his UFC debut earlier this year, knocked down Alex Morono in just 27 seconds and got himself a Performance of the Night bonus for his trouble. Now he takes on a teammate of Morono in Abdul Razak Al Hassan in tonight's co-main event. Did he blink the whole time? I don't think he blinked. still staring at him. Let's get you our tail of the tape for this matchup at welterweight. Al Hassan, 9 years older than Chaos Williams at 35 years old. Williams stands 2 inches taller at an even 6 feet. Abdul Razak Al Hassan did miss weight on the scales by a pound and a half. 4-inch reach advantage lies with Williams. Back inside the octagon, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. This fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 10 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Detroit, Michigan, Chaos, the Ox Fighter, Williams! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai fighter, holding a professional record, 10 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 172 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas, by way of Ghana, Abdul Razak Al Hassan. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mark Smith.
Ready for this co-main event? Thank you, Luciana. How about the mean mugging from Chaos Williams?
It's great. I love it.
I wouldn't be laughing if I was standing in front of that. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, cool as a cucumber on the other side. Touch of the gloves are underway. This fight clock is brought to you by Modelo. Abdul Razak Al Hassan is in the gold. He's minus 220 as a sizable favorite here, plus 180 on the other side for Chaos Williams in the black.
He has landed 2 very, very heavy leg kicks already.
Oh,
and there's a third. They're heavy. They're going to do damage.
Somebody's got the legs to handle it. I'll take Al Hassan's thighs.
Well, yeah, when you look at those thighs, my word.
Wow! Chaos Williams bringing the chaos once again.
Are you kidding me? Look at that. He is stiff as a board.
You want to talk about don't blink performances? Chaos Williams
against Abdul Razak Al Hassan. The man can take a punch, and it was Abdul that said, let's see how the chin of Chaos is. 1 shot. Wait for it. Boom! Right hand to the chin. That's it. Out cold like a light.
I don't know what to say. That was so fast.
Well, he talked a good game. When we spoke to him this week, he was oozing confidence, and rightly so. But man, he backed up all the talk. Let's take a listen to this.
Watch fingers. Fingers, Abdul. Stop.
I mean, Chaos Williams getting the reaction from Bisping. Yeah.
Well,
wow.
Rightly
wow
so.
Is the word.
Wow is the
Chaos is the word.
I can think of others, but I won't say them.
Chaos Williams getting his hand raised when we come back.
We always gonna be bonded.
Got a great run. Thank you for our last dance.
To the Pittsburgh native supporting a different black and gold.
Hey, come on, scarf up.
The fan a walk from Wrigley Field who's just as drawn to the octagon.
No, not now, no.
And the Indiana man who bleeds magic blue.
Kenny should have won a title.
You're the reason we're here.
Yeah, I just wish you weren't like here.
If tennis is your cup of tea,
You guys know Naomi?
or fantasy is your priority,
No. Do your own research.
this is your stream. ESPN Plus. It exists because you do.
With Schneider's new Freight Power app, view available drivers and assign loads just like that, so you can keep your drivers moving and avoid downtime. Download the Schneider Freight Power app today.
UFC Fight Night is presented by the U.S. Army. Learn more at GoArmy.com. And in part by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. After a blistering knockout from Chaos Williams, it's time for the fight decision brought to you by DAV, Disabled American Veterans, keeping our promise to America's veterans. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Smith has called a stop to this contest at 30 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout, Chaos, the Ox Fighter Williams.
Chaos Williams in 30 seconds, which is 3 seconds longer than the knockout he notched in his UFC debut. He becomes the 5th welterweight in UFC history with 2 or more knockouts in under a minute each, joining Rumble Johnson, Eric Silva, and his opponent Abdul Razak Al-Hassan. My goodness, and he's gonna get an extra special handshake fist bump from Dana White after something like that.
Yeah, well, Dana knows. He has something special on his hands right here. Fortunately, Abdul is now awake. He's looking around, but my word, I mean, it does not get any better than that. First fight, 27 seconds. Second fight, 30 seconds. And with the first real punch that he threw, there was 3 leg kicks, and then there it was. Feinted with the left jab, and then boom, a right hand. Just absolutely perfect technique. Found the home on the chin, and talk about power. I mean, he was stiff as a board, out like a light before he even hit the floor. Mark Smith dived in. He knew it was over, but he still managed. He's so fast, he still managed to get in another follow-up shot, and I'm joined with him right now. Chaos Williams. Often we see people that come to the UFC, they get a 27 knockout, and people think, well, you know, can he follow that up? Was it a fluke? Let's see what he does next time. But you came here tonight against a very, very tough opponent, a guy that's known for being the knockout artist, and knocked him out in 1 shot. I mean, there's nothing for me to say. I'll hand it over to you. What have you got to say after that performance?
First off, I want to thank God. You know, I want to thank my team, Murcielago, MMA, Simmons Academy of Wrestling. You know, just everybody that believe in me, all the doubters as well. You know, like I said, man, it's not personal, it's just punishment. I've been waiting to be able to get on TV and do this. You know, I was diamond in the rough, just waiting to be buffed off and showed to the world. Now I'm here, you know, and I'm here, you know. Also, man, shout out Jay-Z, shout out Meek Mills, man, y'all inspiration to me. You know, I listen to y'all before all my fights. One day, hope to meet y'all, do some business or something, you know. But, you know, it's just hard work and dedication. You know, it's just hard work and dedication. I've been doing this for a long time. And also, man, I hope my opponent okay as well, you know. Just want to thank the UFC, Dana White, thank my management, Iridium Sports. You know, you guys the best. It's my 2nd fight in the UFC. Y'all see what I'm doing. This wasn't no fluke. You know, co-main event, man. It's starting to make it, man. I'm here. You know, people gonna keep sleeping on me, and the doctor gonna wake them up, you know.
Well, obviously, that was a very fast performance, 30 seconds. Take a look at the screen in front of you. We want you to walk us through it. It was short, but it was very sweet.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, man, you know, it's just like, that's all the hard work and dedication, man, all the hard work and dedication. The lonely nights, the dark nights in the gym, you know, like I said, man, it's my mindset, you know, winning is a state of mind. And, you know, I'm always focused, man, I'm hungry, you know, I'm here, I'm gonna just keep doing this.
Well, not only did you silence Abdul, you silenced everybody inside the UFC Apex here. Just stunning knockout power. What do you attribute that kind of knockout power to?
Like I said, it's a God-given talent. That's who I always give it to, man. You know, God first, man. Matthew 19:26. With God, all things are possible. All things, you know. And that's just what it is.
Well, I think I can speak on behalf of the entire UFC and everybody watching at home. We cannot wait to see you step back inside the octagon. Congratulations, my friend.
Awesome.
I think it's
awesome, man. Hey, I had a lot of people that hit me up. You know, EA Sports going ahead and put me on that game in about a year or two. Man. No, about a year. You know, we got to get on there, man. I want to play with myself. I don't even play games, but, you know, that's going to bring me out of retirement.
Well, you carry on like this, I think soon you'll be on the cover of that video game. Congratulations, Chaos Williams. Incredible stuff.
Thank you.
2 for 2 in the octagon. Hasn't even gone a full minute. This is a live shot of Abdul Razak Al-Hassan, who is now walking down the stairs under his own power. Good to see there, and hope to see him back. But the night and the moment belongs to Chaos Williams, who cashes as an underdog tonight in the co-main event in emphatic fashion. Here's your upcoming schedule as we stay busy through the end of the year. Dana White's Contender Series, we round out Season 4 coming up on Tuesday night in a feature bout in the flyweight division as JP Bays tries to join his wife Cheyenne in the UFC, who got her contract earlier this summer. We've talked about UFC 255, that's coming up. 2 title fights in the flyweight division, Davison Figueiredo, Alex Perez, and then Valentina Shevchenko will take on Jennifer Maia for the women's flyweight title. After Thanksgiving, extra serving of leftovers for Curtis Blades and Derek Lewis on Saturday night on ESPN2 for that fight night. And then we start December. We can make this official for the first time. Jack the Joker Hermanson takes on Kevin Trailblazer Holland. How about the year for Kevin Holland, who has won 4 times in the UFC and earns himself the spotlight of a UFC main event coming up in December. Just one left, folks. This whirlwind week for Paul Felder gets a conclusion. He thought he'd be here tonight with us. Commentary table, headset on, calling the fights. Instead, an opportunity presented itself. And he will walk last in his second UFC main event to put himself right back in the mix. Because his opponent is one of the UFC's most respected fighters. Rafael Dos Anjos returns to lightweight tonight, where he was a champion before and is determined to own that belt once again. His journey to that starts tonight in our main event, which comes your way on ESPN Plus next.
We made USAA insurance for veterans like Martin. When a hailstorm hit, he needed his insurance to get it done right away. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Businesses today are looking to tomorrow, adapting, innovating, setting the course. But new ways of working demand a new type of network, one that's more than just fast. You need flexibility to work from anywhere and manage from everywhere. Advanced technology with serious security and reliable coverage nationwide. Forward-thinking enterprises deserve forward-thinking solutions, and that's what we deliver. So bounce forward with Comcast Business.
We always gonna be bonded.
Got a great run. Thank you for our last dance.
One more piece of business to handle here at the UFC Apex tonight. Close by the Las Vegas Strip, where the fountains are flying, the lights are on. Here in Sin City, as we welcome you back inside the UFC Apex. You're watching UFC Fight Night, Felder versus Dos Anjos on ESPN Plus. And it is time for our main event. UFC Fight Night is presented by the U.S. Army. Rafael Dos Anjos has proven doubters wrong before. He did it as an underdog when he won the lightweight title. And now he's back in that weight class with plenty more to prove. On the other side, chaos breeds opportunity. And there was one fighter ready to step up, opting this weekend to trade the suit and tie for a pair of 4-ounce gloves and 5 rounds.
Breaking news, we have a last-minute change to this weekend's main event. Islam Makhachev is out. Paul the Irish Dragon Felder is in. Felder will take on Rafael Dos Anjos. He goes from the commentary table to the main event inside the octagon on just 5 days' notice.
You know, I've been training for a triathlon, and something was telling me, screw it, man, just let's do this. I'm not too worried that I haven't had a full training camp. I know how to fight. This is what I've been doing since I was a little kid. Coming for hell, man. You guys know that. It doesn't matter how long I prepared. You put me in front of a guy that wants to knock me out, I'm going to try to beat his ass.
Oh, what a knee! He's hurt! Paul Felder's pouring on the pressure! Big elbow! Wow!
The Irish Dragon!
What a finish from Paul Felder!
The Irish Dragon is coming for you!
Oh! He hurt him there. Huge elbow.
And that is it!
It's cutthroat in this division, man, and I'm hungry to get to the top. I'm only fighting for one reason, and that is to be one of the best lightweights in the world.
For the fans of MMA, this fight will be very exciting because the division is wide open right now. Khabib just retired. It's a huge challenge for me, trying to reinvent myself at 36 years old. People think I'm done, people counting me out, but that's what drives me. Back in 2010, I broke my jaw with Clay Guida, and I thought my career was done. and I was able to come back and become a champion in 2015.
Oh, big rectum! Amazing performance by Rafael dos Anjos.
And when I announced that I would move up to welterweight, people say, you're crazy, you're gonna get smashed by those big guys. And I won 3 fights in a row. I beat the former champion Robbie Lawler, and I fought for the title. And now I make the adjustments, and I know I can beat all these guys and become a lightweight champion again.
I'm not in this sport to make a little noise and have a little fun. I'm in this sport to make my drive for that title and win the belt. A win over him is going to put me into a prime position to be moving forward in the lightweight division.
It's nice to be mine. You know, I'll fight my fight, and I feel like it's my time now. I'm always chasing the gold. You know, I'm born to be a champion, and I will make it become true.
Former champion in the UFC's lightweight division returns tonight to the division he once ruled. Rafael dos Anjos makes the walk at 155 pounds tonight for the first time in 4 years. He won this title, he wants it back, and tomorrow he'll celebrate 12 years as a UFC fighter. He made his debut November 15, 2008, one of the originals of this lightweight division, and wants to show he's got a whole lot of fight left in him, Michael.
Well, this man is the epitome of a real fighter. It's very fitting that he's walking out to Kumite, which is the music from Bloodsport, because that's what this man is about. You speak to Jason Perillo, he has endless respect for him. This man comes to fight each and every single time. Super dedicated, always in the gym, can win the fight anywhere. Very, very good wrestling, world-class jiu-jitsu, and on the feet, the man is an absolute killer. And he's fought some of the best people in the world. He was the lightweight champion, went up to welterweight, and fought all the best people there. The only problem was he was just a little undersized. That said, still beat Neil Magny, still beat Robbie Lawler, had good fights against Colby Covington. He fought Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, fought the best people, one after the other, after the other. Not everybody will do that. Not everybody will accept those kind of matchups. He did. And now we realized, listen, maybe I was a little undersized. He's back to his division. 155 is where he should fight, and I'm telling you, he's a very special fighter, and he wants to get that belt back.
He has shown resilience in his career before. He actually lost his first 2 UFC fights before going on a run where he won 10 of 11. That included a title fight win and a dominant performance over Anthony Showtime Pettis. He defended that title with a first-round knockout of Donald Cowboy Cerrone. He's back. He says, whoever is holding that belt, that's what I want. I'm not chasing fights. I'm not chasing big checks. I'm chasing the UFC belt, and I want it again. His journey to that starts tonight against a top 10 contender, Paul Felder. He's got a whole lot on his mind this week. Movember mustache, the kiss of his father's ashes, Tom. He wears around his neck on his way to the octagon. What a week for Paul Felder, who expected to be on the broadcast team with us this Saturday night. An opportunity came about after Islam Makhachev could not make the walk this week. Paul Felder was in shape enough to say yes. He made weight, and now he makes the walk last for his second UFC main event.
Well, he's walking in very charged, and very emotional. But one thing he's not is under pressure. And he knows that. He said this week, if I can pull this off, if I can beat a legend like Rafael dos Anjos on 5 days' notice, that really sets him apart from the rest of the people and puts him, you know, in those talks for those really, really big fights. When you look at Paul and the body of work that he's given us over the years, it's clear to see the man can fight. He's a natural fighter. He has that fire inside him. And the reason he could take a fight on 5 days' notice is because he was training for a triathlete. So that means the cardio was in check. The weight was kind of in check. The man knows how to fight. He doesn't need to learn how to fight. You're just going to get ready for a fight. And cardio is the most important thing in a fight after the skills. Because once the cardio goes, the skills don't matter. However, I do have one slight concern. He talks about because he ran so much and he biked so much and he swam so much, he was lighter and he lost some muscle mass. You do also need your strength in there. So in the past, strength and conditioning coaches told me not to run quite as much as what I used to do. And Rafael dos Anjos was training for a grappling fight. We may see Rafael try and take him down to the floor. Now, who knows? Maybe Paul is just as strong as he ever was. He said he feels great. It's just one concern that I slightly do have. Anyway, that out the window. Yes. Respect to this man. You know, people talk about being that type of guy, but actually doing it is a different thing. He did it on 5 days' notice. There's nothing more to say.
And it's really the story that has dominated the world of mixed martial arts. Paul Felder in the octagon on 5 days' notice for the main event against a former champion, Rafael dos Anjos. Let's get to our tail of the tape. Both of these fighters are 36 years old, although Rafael dos Anjos has twice the UFC experience as Paul Felder. Felder 3 inches taller, first time in a while. He'll be the taller party in the octagon. The reach is nearly the same. Let's set the table one final time, and for that, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony Marnell Jr., Executive Director Bob Bennett. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Derek Clearly, Sal Diamato, and Chris Lee. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Jean. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 29 wins, 13 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting the former UFC lightweight champion, Rafael dos Anjos. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 17 wins, 5 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, presenting the number 7 ranked lightweight contender in the world, Paul, the Irish Dragon Felder!
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna keep this clean. Touch gloves, let's do it.
These two fighters have had respect for each other since the matchup was made last weekend. Rafael dos Anjos grateful that Paul Felder was willing to step up and dance for 5 possible rounds. Paul Felder From training for a triathlon to the main event. Tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Rafael dos Anjos in the gold, minus 200 as the favorite tonight is the Brazilian. Paul Felder, the 7th-ranked lightweight in the black, plus 170 as the underdog.
Paul talked to us earlier this week about the use of elbows. We all know Paul Felder has tremendous elbows, used them to great effect in many, many fights. And he said he sees some opening for dos Anjos as he comes in getting over aggressive. He's going to catch him with the elbow. So far, Paul looking very sharp.
Big body kick from dos Anjos. Big left from dos Anjos, backs up Felder. When he dips and grabs the leg. So the matchup was Islam Makhachev, excuse me. Of course, known for his grappling. He's a southpaw wrestler. And instead, RDA is matched up with an orthodox striker who wants to get in a phone booth.
And that's the big kick for dos Anjos, the body kick from the southpaw position. I called Jason Perillo earlier. I said, in your opinion, what is the strongest part of the game of dos Anjos? And he said the kicks, the body kicks, the calf kicks, just generally the kicks. And we see from a southpaw position, that body kick is right to the liver. But dos Anjos is caught already.
Yeah. Well, I think it was that spinning elbow from Felder. He has shown the ability to time those spinning attacks through his UFC career.
And there it is, there's the first shot. This is crucial. Dos Anjos has the hands together. He's probably gonna go for a ride here. Let's see what happens, and he's down. See, this is huge for Rafael. High-level black belt jiu-jitsu. Been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time, comes from Brazil clearly. This is his bread and butter. This is what he likes to do.
Parlayed a 2003 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu World Championship into a mixed martial arts career when he turned to be a pro fighter in 2004.
And listen, for Paul, of course, everybody trains all aspects of mixed martial arts, and of course, he's paid a lot of attention to the ground game. But Rafael has a clear advantage here, in my opinion.
Well, Felder said, I know I'll be on my back at some point. I just got to be able to get up. And
yeah, no,
on
absolutely.
that now as he sits his back to the fence.
See, that's what you have to do. It doesn't matter necessarily if the guy's better than you at jiu-jitsu. If you don't engage in the jiu-jitsu, if you play a very defensive game and just try and get back to your feet and minimize the risk, then it's a lot harder to be caught in a submission. However, dos Anjos isn't necessarily looking for a submission. He wants a dominant position to put you down and then put you to sleep. And now we see him with a standing head and arm choke. If he gets the right leg, he can sweep Felder down to the floor. Good job by Paul, though.
Fighting it off after he returned to his feet. We approach 2 minutes to go in this first of 5 possible rounds. Knees to the body from dos Anjos. Dips to change level as Felder fights it off. Lands an uppercut on his way out.
Great defense by Paul. As you said, nice knee on the break as well.
It was a left hand that grazed above the right eyebrow of dos Anjos, which caused the cut.
Tell you, Paul looks sharp.
Yeah.
Very, very fast.
Body kick from dos Anjos.
Oh, good left.
And he follows it up with a left cross. I ran into Duke Rufus, head coach of Paul Felder, earlier today, and he was talking about how fast Felder was. This is not the same Felder because his body is so much different. Training for that triathlon.
Well,
he was snapping the kicks and snapping his punches in a different way.
Well, it's not just that. He hasn't had 2 months in training camp wearing his body down. When you're in the camp, right, you get beaten up on a daily basis. You spar 3 times a week. And yes, you need to do that to get your timing, to get the conditioning, to get the stamina, right? But if you can take the fight on short notice and be in shape without going through that, you will be fresher, you will be sharper, and you will be more confident and stronger. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience.
Come on, Paulie.
Each guy throwing, taking it, and firing back.
Oh, clash of heads there. Both guys went for the takedown.
Not something we see every day from Felder.
Hey, listen, mix it up. Why not? And listen, look at his fight against Charles Oliveira.
Yep.
Right? A very, very dangerous jiu-jitsu man. He put him on his back and he pounded him out with elbows.
Felder drops to a knee here. 30 seconds to go as dos Anjos has it back to the ground.
Nice work by dos Anjos here. Kind of a tricky position. Paul's going to try and get back up. He's got that leg isolated. There it is. Good work.
Heavy elbow for dos Anjos. Keeps it in the clinch. Final seconds of round number one. Another big
Heavy
shot from Dos Anjos. There's the horn. We'll keep it here between rounds for this main event.
Good
Each
round,
fighter
okay?
having their moments.
You're finding your mark very nice, okay? But what I need you to do is, okay, thank you. You're doing good, Paulie, but what I need you to do is go combinations. You're laying in the first punch, get more, go more. Give me 2, 3, 4. You're catching on the first one, just put 2 or 3 more shots behind that, okay? Don't move into to your right. That's how he's getting a takedown. Keep to my right? Yeah, go to the left, okay? Remember red zone, right, coach?
All right, let's take a look at this huge shot, a left hook right at the end of the round. Just caught him on the forehead. Fortunately for Paul, there was a lot of power in that one. Take another look, boom, clips the forehead, and the round ends.
You heard the instructions from Duke Rufus in the corner of Paul Felder. Something of note for Rafael Dos Anjos. He lives in California full-time. He's become a naturalized U.S. citizen. Jason Perillo, his boxing coach, but he actually spent this camp down in Rio de Janeiro in his native Brazil and brought his whole family down there for it.
Yeah, that's right. He's been down there for about 4 months, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously preparing for a high-level grappler, went down there, rounding out his skill set. So this is a complete change of opponent and complete change of styles. So that's why also you got to give respect to Dos Anjos. It takes 2 to tango.
Yeah.
Yes, Paul is a gangster for doing this, but so's Rafael. You know, there's a lot at stake here. He wants to be the champion again. You know, and a switch of opponents so late in the game is a dangerous risk.
Well, also for Dos Anjos, perhaps even more to gain for the fact that Felder is the 7th ranked lightweight inside the top 10 if he wants to chase that belt. Makhachev sitting there at number 12 and certainly appears to be on his way up. Heavy elbow from Felder after taking a right from Dos Anjos.
Oh, that was a good calf kick. On the inside though, not quite as damaging. That's the problem for the southpaw. And a lead advancing elbow. That straight left of Dos Anjos is so fast. There's no wind up, just boom, just fires it straight forward. So nice and fast.
Connects with it again, follows
He's gonna
with
shoot.
the right, Dos
Anjos is gonna shoot. He's paused by the fence. There it is. And this right now is the battle. Can Dos Anjos get his hands together? If he gets his hands together, Paul goes down. If Paul separates his legs as if he's doing the splits, obviously it's a wider space to join his hands together, and you can't get the takedown.
Able to fight off the hands of RDA, but he's still forcing the action back along the fence. Unofficial knee as RDA changed levels. Look out. Looks to grab the single leg, now shakes it off once again. Unofficially 1 of 5 on takedown attempts for Dos Anjos.
Oh, nice elbow.
Fires another elbow from in close.
Got him in the eye, look at that, all class. And Dos Anjos, as I say, he's a real fighter. He's like, yeah, don't worry, I'm good, let's go.
30th UFC appearance here tonight for Rafael Dos Anjos. Big body kick for RDA.
Paul is exceptionally sharp tonight, the fastest I've ever seen him. And right as I say that, a blistering left hand from Dos Anjos.
Left from Dos Anjos. That has been working for the first round and a half. Trevor Whitman has been with us all night. Trevor, this is right in your wheelhouse.
Well, I think Dos Anjos' key is to keep Paul past the black line, close to the cage. I think it's just opposite for Paul. Keep it in the center like he's doing right now, where he's picking shots. I really like how he thought to throw elbows from the start of this fight. I think that's key. Those elbows that he's throwing are very dangerous. He lands one of those, that'll change the fight. What a good fight.
Oh, this is super high level stuff. I mean, this is as good as it gets. A beautiful body shot by Dos Anjos there. There it is, that black line. When you get into that black line, that's when you can shoot, because your opponent will hit the fence. They can't back up, they can't sprawl. And once again, Dos Anjos trying to get the hands together around the backside of Paul.
Oh,
nicely done. Nice foot sweep.
Sneaky trip there from Dos Anjos.
The problem for Dos Anjos here, though, Paul's back is against the fence. So whilst, you know, he's sat down, he's not flat on his back. Rafael needs to pull him off the fence or use his forearm to push the forehead of Paul Felder to the left direction. If he does that, he can sit him down completely. If he goes the other way, Paul's right, he'll end up taking the back. And that allows Paul, whilst he's at danger of getting choked out, to probably get back to his feet, fight the hands, turn into Rafael, and then he's, you know, they're back on the feet.
Felder back to his feet after the second takedown of Dos Anjos, who might be chasing another one as we approach 1 minute to go in round 2.
Well, that's the smart plan for Dos Anjos. Of course, he needs to use the strikes to set up the takedowns. But we see, in the grappling department, you know, he has an advantage there. On the feet, it's anybody's fight. They're both doing fantastic work, landing good shots.
Felder using that fence to his advantage to keep himself upright. They're just feeling that pressure from RDA as he leans in with the shoulder. Another explosion here. We'll look at the striking numbers. RDA mixing it up, head and body nicely. Felder mostly to the head of Dos Anjos, but he's thrown in some leg strikes as well. Felder escapes.
Nice body kick. Nice front kick, I mean, right to the midsection. Some good sting on that one.
Oh. Round number 2 and another heavy left from Rafael Dos Anjos. We'll keep it here between rounds once again. Pretty good 10 minutes from these two lightweights.
Okay, you're doing good. Okay, listen. Okay, drink some water. Okay, listen, you're doing great, but this round, you don't have to kill him with every shot. You need some speed, a little more agility. I need Rocky 3 now this round, okay? A little more agility. You're popping him good, you're finding the range. If you hit him more, you can put him out, okay? And again, red zone.
Red zone, I want some anti-wrestling strikes, some uppercuts, some crosses through his chest. When we get to red zone, he's shooting.
Well, here we see Paul Felder, a nice lead jab and then beautiful body shot, but it was hit the elbow of Felder there. I mean, this entire round was back and forth. That just clipped the top of the forehead, sorry, the head, straight left. That left hand of Dos Anjos is so fast tonight.
It has repeatedly found the target through the first 2 rounds. Paul Felder doing a little housekeeping there. Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC.
Fight.
So as we get later and later into this fight, the gas tank, the cardio of each of these fighters may be in question. Of course, Felder with just the 5 days notice. And for Rafael Dos Anjos, he's gone 25 minutes in the UFC 6 times in his career. This is his 11th main event.
Well, that's right. I mean, of course, Dos Anjos is prepared for a 5-round fight. And we spoke about Paul Felder training for a triathlon, which, of course, is high-level cardio. But they are different energy systems that you're using in the body. You're mixing in here, it's strength with cardio, it's muscle endurance. It's not only, you know, cardiovascular endurance, it's muscle endurance. That could pay dividends for Dos Anjos the longer this fight goes as it gets into the championship rounds.
And we know where RDA wants this fight. Once again, he backs Felder up. Changed levels, now he stands up.
It's incredibly difficult wrestling or fighting takedowns for 5 rounds. Of course, Paul's done this for a very, very long time, so the muscle memory is there. But still, in that regard, I guess you have to favor Dos Anjos.
And Dos Anjos was applying the pressure there before he came in close, and now Felder has outside position here. We'll see what RDA does with his back to the fence. Again, first lightweight appearance in 4 years for Rafael Dos Anjos, who won the lightweight championship at UFC 185.
Rafael trying to get that underhook with the right arm desperately there. If he gets that underhook, he can reverse this position. Ooh, just missed with that elbow.
Elbow on the break, and RDA goes right back to changing.
That was a nicely timed takedown.
Lands a takedown. 3 minutes to work on the ground for RDA.
See Paul again, he's gonna He's going to give up his back as he tries to get to his feet here. Dos Anjos is going to go to the left and try and take the back. Now he step back over into the half guard. He's going to try and flatten him out. That's the smart move for Dos Anjos. Get him flat on his back. Once you get him flat on his back, he can start to use the jiu-jitsu, start to use the ground and pound. In this weird scenario where Felder kind of has his back presented, but they're not quite down, it's hard to do anything because no position has been established. But now Paul is down. He has the back. Nicely done by Paul, though. He's scrambling up.
Back to the feet they go. I showed you the takedown numbers. Unofficially 3 takedowns for Dos Anjos, who's thinking about another one. Just a physically taxing pace, both with the offensive wrestling of RDA and then trying to fight off the takedowns.
No, this is horrible. You got no idea, Brendan. Maybe one day I'll show you.
I would like that.
I'll give you a bit of razzing up against the fence. Sounded a bit weird.
Well, Rafael Dos Anjos and Felder just sharing a laugh there as they continue to clinch along the fence.
Yeah, there's no bad blood here. They respect one another as people, as fathers, as martial artists. This is, you know, it's made the best man win.
Ooh, big elbow from RDA. Felder swinging back.
Felder feinting the uppercut there, trying to deter Dos Anjos from shooting for the double leg. You know, you show that uppercut, you think, hold on a minute, maybe I won't do that because I don't want to walk up to an uppercut.
RDA's in on another one.
Yeah, this is a grueling fight, absolutely exhausting. And it's kind of smart of Dos Anjos to do this because, as I said before, the energy system of Paul Felder isn't catered to this right now. It's catered for long distance cardio. That said, there is muscle memory involved. So Paul Felder's doing very, very well. Paul's going to get off the fence, though, in these next 2 rounds. He can't... Whoa! Look at that.
Big slam from Dos Anjos as he lifted Felder off the ground. And now we'll try to salt away this 3rd round with some more top control.
Yeah, he's trying to get mount here. The clock's ticking away, though. See the left instep there. Let it go.
He gets the head free as well. Does he step over to side control? 4 takedowns now through the first 3 rounds for RDA.
Trying to lock up a Kimura, but he's got 10 seconds.
Final seconds until we get involved in our main event rounds 4 and 5. We'll see round number 4 that's coming up. Again, we'll keep it here. And top control from Rafael Dos Anjos was the story in round 3.
Easier said than done, I know. Being truthful. All right, so we need hard sprints off the cage. The other thing, I need you to circle left a little more, okay? Excuse me 1 sec. I need you to circle left. Go, drink. There you go. Recover. All right. This is champion.
Being a bit distance, huh?
Yep, just a little more numbers. Trust yourself. If you're landing the cross, you're landing the hook, go cross, hook, cross.
Am I hooking it in too much?
No, you're not, but let's put numbers together. When you throw it, follow it up, because you're making them cautious of it. You just gotta use it, okay? You need numbers these 2 rounds. You gotta take them out to win. I'm not gonna lie to you. That undercard, don't put pressure on yourself. Just flow, you can do this, okay? All right, and circle left.
Set to go for round number 4. Significant strikes were basically at a dead heat in round number 1. Felder had the better of it in rounds 2 and 3, but of course that top control time and all those takedowns for RDA. Interesting message from Duke Rufus, who says, we need a finish. Basically said we need to take him out to win. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, that is an interesting observation by Duke. But what Paul has to do, and Duke said this as well, he's got to stay off the fence. He has to, by all accounts, stay away from the fence. That's where Rafael's having the success. That's where he's getting the takedowns. In the open, we see here, good work from Felder. And he's coming out here hard with a lot of fire.
Trevor Whitman, what have you noticed through 3 rounds?
Well, I thought everything they said in the corner was awesome. I would say the same thing. You give him another round to get pushed up against a cage, he's not going to have the energy to get a finish. I like how he's keeping in the center right here. But let's not take away like what Dos Anjos is doing. He's fighting brilliantly. He's doing what you need to do against Felder when Felder doesn't have a full training camp. Put him against the cage, get that lactic acid in the shoulders, and I know Felder's legs are feeling it. And him being out here and holding the center right now is way harder than it looks. I'm really impressed with how Felder has fought through this so far. He just got to keep it in the center.
Another body kick from RDA. Thank you, Trevor.
Yeah, and that was a heavy body kick. I mean, you could hear the slap.
Felder tries to return the favor up top. Another body kick there from Rafael Dos Anjos. Felder obliging the corner to keep it in the center through the early part of this fourth round.
And listen, you just got to think to yourself, I mean, how good does Rafael Dos Anjos look at 155? Back in his natural weight class, remember, this is where he was the champion, and he's obsessed with becoming the champion again. Certainly with Khabib retiring recently, he believes he's one of the top guys in place with a win tonight to really fight for the belt sometime soon. And here he is once again with Paul up against the fence. Nicely defended so far by Paul.
Tried to lift him off the ground, couldn't do so. 3 minutes to go, round 4, Trevor.
Yeah, I want to talk about position again. He held that center for a minute. Now the hard part is, how does he get back to that center? Because when you get your back up against that octagon, it is so hard to get back to the center, especially when you got that lactic acid build it in your legs. And again, Dos Anjos is fighting the right fight right now. I really feel it's a dangerous fight for Dos Anjos in the center. Right here, I think he's going to control it and pretty much take it to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul is looking incredibly sharp. In fact, considering he had no training camp, I think his striking is the fastest it's ever been, and he looks very dangerous. Against the fence here, I mean, it's clear who's in control. Dos Anjos is bossing him around a little bit. He's getting the takedowns. He's landing shots from the clinch. So yeah, to Trevor's point, Paul has to turn him. He's going to get in on the hook, turn him, so it's Dos Anjos up against the fence and then back away. However, easier said than done. There it is, though. Now he's going to disengage.
Right. Still has the hands locked. Knee to the body. And Dos Anjos able to reverse position once again.
Yeah, Rafael needs to get the head position. His head needs to come to the left side of Paul's. It will stop those elbows, and it will also make sure he's fully in control of this position. And Dos Anjos, he said he's stalled out. By this point now, Paul knows exactly what's going on. He's going to push me against the fence, he's going to hit me with some shots, and then he's going to try and take me down. Oh, he's looking for the tie clinch.
Felder circles out to the right. And each fighter using the right hand to work the body with some little shots. Now they separate and return back to the center.
Oh, nice job.
Stiff jab from RDA. Good combination from Felder. Big left from Felder as he swings big.
Yeah, Paul is swinging. He's looking for the knockout.
Stiff counter shot from Dos Anjos, and he saw the spin coming. Felder's over.
Oh, there you go.
For Felder with 30 seconds to mix things up. 4.
Yeah, Dos Anjos is a very tough man to hold down. Very tough. Look at that. Pushes down on the head. Perfect defense. He's going to suck that leg out and he'll be back to his feet. And while that was good for Paul to do that, it's also sapping tremendous amounts of his energy going into the 5th and final round. This is very hard, and it's way harder to try and get the takedown than what it is to defend.
Felder's forehead is a bloody mess after those big shots and the heavy exchanges. Dos Anjos able to escape and throw some big punches. Oh, they're going to take an extra look at that cut.
Way to hustle. All right, listen to me. It's all or nothing round. I need you to numbers and damn this guy. For Dad, come on. Tough cancer. Let's forget this crap, all right? Let's make a statement, all right? Come on. Get deep.
All 5 minutes, baby.
Here we go, dude. We come out here, okay? You can do this, kid.
Well, this is what caused the cut. Left hand, wait for it, it's coming. Boom. Was that the one? Yeah, you see,
yeah.
He felt it, opened up a big cut straight away. Look at that.
A lot of scar tissue on each of these guys. And man, the cut man trying to stop the bleeding any way he can, but it's still dripping. It's a Paul Felder fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of in a bad position. You see the flow of the blood is going down the nose, but as this round progresses, it will start to get in the eye.
Big right from Felder to start off the 5th and final round. Trevor?
You know what I love in the corner is when someone can hit a button. And Duke Rufus said, your father, your daughter, there's little things that you can say to someone that will bring you out of that hurt. When he sat down on the stool, he looked like he had nothing. After he said that, he took a different breath, and I want to see if this has anything to do with the way he comes out. I love that type of stuff.
Yeah, same here, Trevor. You know, at a time like this, I don't want technical advice. I don't want step to the left and look for the left hook. I want something that's going to make me dig deep, remind me of why I do this and what I'm fighting for. And to your point, Trevor, that's exactly what Duke Rufus did. And he came out hard and fast and looked sensational, but unfortunately, this is exactly where Dos Anjos wants him, and this is exactly where he has him.
Cut is back opened up after the exchange in the center of the octagon in the early part of round 5. Rafael Dos Anjos became the second fighter in UFC history to pass 7 hours of total time. He came into tonight's second place only to Frankie Edgar. How about that for those guys? Veterans, more than 7 hours in the world-famous octagon, and another takedown for RDA.
So this is big for Rafael. Now it's a proper takedown, right? It's out in the open. It's away from the fence. This gives him a chance to try and, you know, use his superior jiu-jitsu properly. You know, he can look to pass guard, look for submissions, beat him, you know, with punches and elbows to try and set up a proper submission. Against the fence, it's much more difficult than that. The fence is a barrier. It stops you stepping over. It gives your opponent something to lean on to try and stand up. But as I said, for Dos Anjos now in this final round, this is big that they're in the open.
Dos Anjos 10 wins by submission in his career. Paul Felder has never been submitted. Right now, it's Dos Anjos just applying that top pressure.
Well, he's going to try and pass him out. He's trying to push on that left leg of Felder and then step his own right leg over the top into mount. And of course, we've seen if he gets a head and arm choke, he has a tremendous squeeze.
That's how he ended the fight against Kevin Lee last year in Rochester.
And he's looking for it now. He's looking for it. That's why his head is to the canvas like that.
Halfway through the 5th and final round.
Cannot make a mistake here. He has to know what Dos Anjos is doing. He has to keep... Rafael's head is on the floor. Paul has to keep his arm on the floor. Okay, he can't lift it up because that's what he's looking for Paul to do. He's out of danger right now.
And look at Dos Anjos staying busy on the ground. Not just top control, but chasing submissions, ground and pounds.
Yeah, listen, that's the way Rafael Dos Anjos fights. You know, he's not there to win by decision. He's a warrior. He looks for the finish all the time, whether it's a knockout or a submission. And that's why he's respected all over the world.
Scramble by Felder there for a moment, but we're under 2 minutes left, and Dos Anjos in the driver's seat here. Time running out for Felder to try to make something happen.
Yeah, he's maybe trying to look for a Kimura. Paul's going to work his way back to his feet, it looks like. He's going to stand up with the right leg. He's going to put his foot on the floor, and then he's going to push up. Boom, there's a knee.
Control time for Rafael Dos Anjos. I mean, basically he's averaging half of each round in control. Felder's still on both knees.
Let me tell you, those knees hurt a lot. It doesn't have the impact of something to the face. You don't get the blood, but trust me, you feel just as much pain, if not more.
Felder back to his feet. Can he get free now is the question.
Bang, man, let's go.
Dos Anjos looking for another takedown.
I mean, you got to give it to Paul. I mean, he is fighting with for his life here. He did very well to stay on the feet. Herb Dean saying, let's work. It's good balance by Paul.
And how about that strength and the cardio of Rafael Dos Anjos back at 155 pounds. Not undersized anymore. And this is part of what got him all the way to a UFC lightweight championship. One that he desperately wants again, and looking to put the finishing touches on this one in the final 20 seconds.
Yeah, there it is. Drives him down to his back. He's going to try and finish strong for this last 10 seconds. Paul's going to give up his back. He's probably going to eat a couple of punches here to finish the fight.
RDA steps over. 5 full rounds between Rafael dos Anjos and Paul Felder in jubilation in the corner of Rafael dos Anjos. They believe he has done enough, and start to finish, Rafael dos Anjos with the perfect game plan for this fight. Hey, is he back in the lightweight division?
Well, I think he's back in a big way. Of course, we haven't got the decision yet, but from what I saw, I mean, you know, it's clear. It was very competitive on the feet, but Rafael backed him up to the fence every time. From there, he got control, he got takedowns, he got submission attempts, and he got a lot of damage as well. I mean, if you look at the two faces, that kind of tells the story of the fight. But listen, you got to give a lot of credit to Paul Felder. He looked sharp, he looked fast, he hurt dos Anjos on multiple occasions, and he did not give up. His cardio stood the test of 25 minutes, and here we are. Let's go through it round by round. First round, nice straight left there by dos Anjos. Got him against the fence. Nice flurry. Finished with a big left hook. Here we are in 2. Paul came out hard again. There's a good elbow for dos Anjos in the clinch. Head kick. Kind of wobbled him a little bit there. Big one to the body. Paul blocked it. But you see, it's always dos Anjos advancing forward, pushing him to the fence to get the takedown. Paul did some great work though, landed some excellent shots of his own. Combinations were fast, huge takedown there. Big power slam into a good position. 4th round, Paul came out fast, good 3-punch combination. Rafael fires back. Round 5, this was the final one. Big elbow there. And as usual, gets him against the fence, gets a nice takedown there. And look at this, nothing but absolute respect when it's all said and done. 2 world-class martial artists and absolute warriors.
The official decision is in for this main event, and for that, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Chris Lee scores the contest, 48-47, Felder. Sal D'Amato scores it, 50-45, dos Anjos. And Derek clearly scores the contest, 50-45, for the winner by split decision, Rafael dos Anjos.
Perhaps a bit more drama after that first scorecard was read, but 50-45 on 2 of them.
Yeah, whoever that judge was, I suggest he goes take a good long look in the mirror and maybe find another job. No disrespect to Paul Felder, of course. Listen, a tremendous fight. I've got so much respect for Paul Felder, what he did. He dared to be great, and he looked great. He looked sensational, but tonight belongs to Rafael dos Anjos. A triumphant return to the lightweight division, and I'm telling you, a lot of people at the top of the lightweight division, they're thinking, man, I wish he stayed at 170 because he is a problem.
And he takes down number 7.
5 days, buddy. Luckily, I was training a little bit.
Look at this, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they're gonna get a picture together in the octagon. You gotta love it. And of course, Felder kind of stole the headlines this week with how he took this fight. But as has been said this week, Rafael dos Anjos certainly deserves a lot of credit as well for taking the fight.
Yeah, it takes 2 to tango, Brendan. You know, a lot of people would have turned that down. They would have said, no, I want to be the champion. I'm not taking an elite striker on 5 days' notice when I've been preparing for a wrestler. However, dos Anjos, being the martial artist and the experienced veteran that he is, he's like, yeah, let's do it. It's just another man.
So Rafael dos Anjos, in his 30th UFC appearance here tonight, emerges the victor. Tomorrow will mark 12 years on the UFC roster. Made his debut November 15th, 2008. Gets a big win here.
Beautiful body kick there by dos Anjos. He landed that a few times throughout the fight. And this was the story of the fight. He would back him up against the fence. He would set up the takedowns with some nice strikes and then get a little bit of control. But Paul never stopped fighting. He tried to fight his way back to his feet every time. And on the feet in the center, he looked dangerous. He looked sharp. He looked fast. But the game plan of dos Anjos was too much. He backed him up every single time. You can see the damage that he did to his face.
The striking numbers actually favor Felder. You can see the head strikes, but how about the takedowns? 6 takedowns notched by Rafael dos Anjos. He continued to chase it. He controlled things on the ground. He controlled things along the fence in the clinch. Nearly 3 full rounds of control time. Rafael dos Anjos is with Michael Bisping.
I'm here with Rafael dos Anjos. Rafael, congratulations on an incredible fight. A lot of talk went to Paul Felder this week, the fact that he stepped up on 5 days' notice, but you also had a change of opponent. Talk to me about the decision-making this week. How did you feel when they said Paul Felder? What went through your mind?
Yeah, man, it's been a crazy roller coaster, this camp. I went all the way to Brazil, training with Ade Pederneira and Nova União, and I was getting ready for Islam in Abu Dhabi on the 24th, and my whole family got COVID. I got COVID. I had to pull out of the fight, and we got to reschedule it to the 14th for today with Islam. And 5 days before the fight, I got the news that he had to pull out, doing some infection. And when I got the notice that Paul Felder would jump in, so I was training for a wrestler, southpaw wrestler, and Paul Felder, the striker, orthodox striker, very technical, strong guy. But we need to make this show happen. And I took the fight, and I'm not too happy with my performance. I wish I could do better. So it was my first fight back on the lightweight division. I feel like I have more adjustment to make.
Well, that's why the world respects you so much, Rafael. Of course, the game plan appeared evident, right? Push him up against the fence, get the takedown, and try and do the damage there. Is there anything about Paul's performance that surprised you tonight? Yeah,
I think when you step on the fight, that you have nothing to lose, it makes it harder for your opponent, right? And like Paul Felder said on one of the interviews, that he got nothing to lose, just gonna go there and have fun. And I have a lot on the line. I've been on this camp for like over 2 months, going through a lot, but heads off for Paul Felder for jumping, and I'm glad, and we got a great fight for the fans.
Well, of course, you are the former lightweight champion, and I'm assuming that you want to get your belt back. So, it's a tremendous triumphant return to lightweight. Who do you want next?
Yeah, I think I want to face whoever's is on the line for that belt. I know I got a lot on me still, and at 36 years old, tonight was my 30th UFC appearance. I think if Khabib is really retired, it will lead the division wide open. And if you look to the contenders, I think like only me and Conor, we are the only real champions on that division. Everybody else is all interim champions. So I think if the division is open, I think me and Conor is a fight to make.
Well, that's beautiful matchmaking, and I, for one, would pay to see it. Rafael dos Anjos, congratulations, my friend. Incredible performance.
Thank you, brother.
Big night for Rafael dos Anjos, executing the game plan, and of course, respect to him for taking the fight against Paul Felder. He mentioned it. He was scheduled to go against southpaw wrestler. Instead, he gets orthodox striker and in-your-face Paul Felder. But Rafael dos Anjos notches win number 30 of his professional career. Ever gracious in victory or defeat, of course, Paul Felder is with Michael.
Paul Felder, first of all, congratulations on just such a gutsy performance. 5 days notice to step in and do that is just an incredible thing. Talk to me about how you're feeling right now.
I honestly feel, I got a little tired there in the fifth. And I really think the problem, Mike, was that I was in striking shape. I was in really good cardio shape for the triathlon, but I hadn't grappled. I'll be honest, now I can be completely upfront with you guys. I have not stepped foot in an MMA gym in almost 4 months. So that was completely based on pure endurance training and some pad work. And then coming here and cutting over 22 pounds in 4 days. Thursday night was probably one of the darkest nights of my life, cutting that weight, but I said I was going to be the first one on that scale. I was the first one on that scale. I said I was going to go and give hell to a former world champion and go 5 rounds if I had to, and we just had a 5-round battle. And I can tell you guys with certainty, I'm not going anywhere right now.
Well, you looked absolutely sensational. Your striking was as fast as I've ever seen it, and you look so determined. Of course, the fight is over now. Looking back, was there any regrets? I'm assuming you're going to say no, but if you were offered this opportunity again, what would you say?
I'd say 100%, man. I talked all week, right, Mike? We talked about it in the fighter interviews that you're only given these opportunities to shine and make a statement. And I said over and over and over and over again that this wasn't necessarily just about wins and losses. I know how talented Rafael dos Anjos is. I know what I was in for. And this is exactly what I wanted. And to get a split decision over this guy, and hopefully, you know, I think we might have got fight of the night here. So I just hope the UFC is proud of me and happy. And I hope everybody back home, I love all you guys. This was for my dad. This was for my family. This was for you guys. You know, I lost my passion for this sport pretty bad. And to all my Philly friends and family and teammates back home, I love you guys. I miss you guys. I can tell you I'm not done. I might lose my ranking a little bit, but what I've learned in this sport is none of that matters. What matters is going out there, showing up, showing who you are inside, what determination you have. And for the guys that missed weight and couldn't make it here tonight, get your stuff together, hire a nutritionist, get on the scale, make weight, and go perform. I was dying on Thursday night to get on that scale at 156 pounds, and I did it, and I showed up tonight for 25 minutes with no training, just training for a triathlon. So get your stuff together. Go.
Well, thank you, Paul Felder, for saying it in a way far more eloquent way than I ever could. Listen,
you're always more eloquent than me, Mike.
Come on, don't lie to me. Listen, you got to dare to be great, to be great. Let me tell you, sir, you went out there tonight, you were great. You made the UFC proud, your father, everyone back home in Philly. And guess what? Everybody all over the world saw what you did tonight, and they are truly inspired. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, guys. I loved every second of it.
Paul Felder, ladies and gentlemen.
His girlfriend Christine has the beer he likes in the fridge back in Philadelphia. So Paul Felder, with a smile on his face, will go back home to Philadelphia. And for Felder, not done. Sharing an emotional moment with his coach afterwards, but ready to come back for more. Meanwhile, Rafael dos Anjos, like he never left the lightweight division. Final thoughts coming up in a moment.
Students of color typically do not have access to high-quality computer science and STEM education. I joined Amazon because I wanted to change education, and I am impatient. Amazon gives me the resources to change the world at a pace that I want to change it. We provide students STEM scholarships and teachers with support. I'm a fighter, and I'm fighting for all students.
He's out. Davison Figueiredo, he's the new flyweight champion. Wow. He's out. What a big performance. Alex Perez, the best in the world. Valentina Shevchenko. Jennifer Maia.
Make it is I keep talking about this defensive line. You know, Benton in the middle, Loudermilk's out there. Henderson's also a guy that can make plays. And when you can't double team and secure those double teams, it frees up the backers. So the playmaking ability of the defensive line, along with the aggressive downhill play of the linebackers, is why it's so tough to run the ball against them.
2nd and 6, Milton's ball batted in the air, and it's caught. They avoid the interception as All is able to come down with it off the deflection. Loudermilk was right there to get a hand on it.
Yeah, I thought Sanborn might come up with an interception. 97 right there, knocking it right away. You see 57 Sanborn thinking about getting a chance to get his hands on it. He's going to walk into the end zone. Well, that's high. He's 6'7". Loudermilk's 6'7", and he timed it up perfectly. Michigan catches a break by that ball not being intercepted.
Well, if you're a Michigan fan, All is probably the guy you want in a jump ball situation. Went up and got it. but now they need 7 on 3rd down to avoid punting from deep in their own end. Badgers bring some pressure. Milton from his goal line launches downfield into traffic, and that one's almost intercepted by Wilder.
Well, Wilder is sitting back there on the hash, and when you have a safety sitting on a hash back here, you have to be very, very careful of floating the ball. You want to put it on a line between the corner and the safety. Watch how he just puts it up in the air, allows the safety, it's almost like a punt, to come over and make a play on it.
Johnson actually broke it up, and Wilder, who was a late add to the travel squad, he had COVID, and then 90 days after his positive test, he tested positive again, but they were able to determine that was from the previous infection, so he was allowed to join the team tonight. Normally a starting safety, kind of a role player tonight. Badgers take over in plus territory midway 3rd quarter.
Tomorrow holds the course of your financial future, which is why it's good to know exactly how you'll get there. For more than 150 years, generations have trusted the strength and stability of Pacific Life to protect their tomorrows. Because protecting those you care about with life insurance and retirement solutions is a winning game plan. Ask a financial professional about Pacific Life.
Always be ready to seize the moment. When inspiration strikes. Make the most of this opportunity during Mazda's season of inspiration. Get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months and no payments for 90 days.
I'm a Verizon engineer, and today we're turning on 5G across the country with a coverage of 5G nationwide. And in more and more cities, the unprecedented performance of ultra-wideband, the fastest 5G in the world. It will change your phone and how businesses do everything. I'm proud because we didn't build it the easy way. We built it right. This is the 5G America's been waiting for, only from Verizon.
When your day is too post-worthy, to bother post.
We always gonna be bonded.
Thank you for our last dance.
Are you ready to bear down on Monday night?
That's all we got at this moment right here, today.
Can Foles catch some magic for a playoff push?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Can the Vikings knock off a fierce division rival?
Win your battle each and every play, one play at a time.
Mac is ready to be a game wrecker. And Cook is ready to be a game changer. Are you ready for Monday night?
The winner by split decision, Rafael dos Anjos.
Rafael dos Anjos is back in the lightweight division, and he is back in the win column tonight as we are in the books once again from the Las Vegas UFC Apex. The UFC Fight Night post show on ESPN Plus starts right now. Made the walk to the octagon for his 30th UFC appearance tonight. He's been with the MMA leader for 12 years now, and he's shown resiliency before. He actually lost his pro debut back in 2004. That was not a sign of things to come. Lost his first 2 UFC bouts, then went on a run to win 10 of 11 en route to a UFC lightweight championship. It's that title that he wants back, and so far, so good as he drops back to the lightweight division for the first time in 4 years tonight. Welcome into the UFC Fight Night post show on ESPN Plus. I'm Brendan Fitzgerald. Michael Chiesa, the UFC welterweight contender. You know what it's like to take on Rafael dos Anjos. What are your thoughts on those 5 rounds we just saw?
Well, first and foremost, you got to commend Paul Felder. Stepping in on 5 days' notice, no training camp. And Rafael dos Anjos, he is world class. This guy, not only did he win the title at lightweight, he fought for the interim belt at 170 pounds. And for him to do what he just did over 25 minutes was very impressive. But, you know, hats off to Rafael dos Anjos for getting the hard-fought win. He's a very tough guy. He's really strong, and he's just very well-rounded, and he showed that tonight. He was able to work off his back when Paul Felder surprised us with a takedown. You know, he showed good top position. He showed good Muay Thai. He showed he's a good all-around fighter, and he can be a contender at 155 pounds again.
Yeah, it was throwing some heavy shots on the feet as well, but it was clear where Rafael dos Anjos wanted this fight, and not really a huge surprise because of who he was supposed to match up against in the wrestler Islam Makhachev. Let's take a look at the highlights, but the control time was really the story for Rafael dos Anjos, really for all 5 rounds.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Paul did a good job trying to maintain some of the space, got some of his kicks off, but I mean, you could hear the body kicks from RDA from all the way up here, and as you can see, working the takedowns, he lands that nice left head kick of his own, and the boxing was there, and you could see that there was volume. He did a good job getting out of range from Paul Felder's elbows. Right now, you see him get another takedown, kind of meeting Paul with his own game, getting some elbows from the clinch, and he got this really big takedown when Paul was holding on to the head, and, you know, Paul had his moments as well. You know, he came back, he had a good 4th round. I thought he might have taken the 4th round, and, I mean, it was just a good, hard-fought war, and you see right here Paul with a really, really nice left overhand from the opposite stance, and just a lot of good stuff from both guys. And look at the gamesmanship from Felder. He gets cut, wipes his hand, shrugs it off, gets right back after it, and, you know, hard-fought, earned fight of the night from both guys. It was awesome.
Describe how tough it is for Rafael dos Anjos to do what he does and control a fighter like that for, you know, half of each of the 5 rounds.
Well, what makes it so hard is the fact that he was supposed to fight a guy that's like polar opposite of Paul Felder. I mean, he was originally supposed to face Islam Makhachev, who's a phenomenal wrestler, so he spent most of his camp doing wrestling defense. But I said, doing my notes, this is one of those things where a good defense is good offense, and he showed that he has good wrestling offense tonight, and he showed that 5 years ago when he beat Anthony Pettis for the lightweight title. So he just showed that he can still be the RDA of old, he can still be a contender, maybe make a run at another gold title at 155 pounds.
Yeah, so he beats number 7 in Paul Felder. I think many would agree, not ideal circumstances for Felder taking the fight on 5 days' notice, but where does this put RDA in the pecking order at 155 now in his return?
Well, I mean, you go fight the guy that you take Paul's spot, and I don't think his stock doesn't really go down. I mean, he took the fight on such short notice, you can't really take too much away from him for stepping up. But, you know, I don't know who makes the rankings. I'm not in charge of that, and I'm glad I'm not. But I think it puts RDA right back in the top 10. And I don't think Felder, you know, like I said, he doesn't lose any of his stock. He stepped up on 5 days' notice. He didn't get, you know, the 2 of the judges gave it a 50-45 for RDA, but it's still, that didn't tell the story of the fight. Paul still had his moments. It's not like he got blown out from bell to bell. It was a good, hard-fought win for RDA.
All right, so Rafael dos Anjos putting that grappling on display, does so as a -200 favorite. Have you ever had a situation where you had to have a change in opponent? Obviously, Felder stepping in, nothing to lose. Have you been on the other side of that? Because some credit goes to RDA for taking this fight as well.
Yeah, and for a guy like RDA, I've been in his position when I've lost a fight and had to step up on short notice, or had to fight a guy on short notice. Not that type of short notice, but the time that I did that, I lost my opponent, and I asked for Jorge Masvidal, and that didn't go so well for me. But, you know, hats off to RDA. When you go through as long of a training camp as he did, he basically had 2 camps back-to-back. He trained for the first fight, got COVID, had to get back into camp. He had a very, very extended, long training camp, and it gets to a point where as a fighter, you just don't care at that point. When you get in peak physical shape and you're beating up guys in the gym and you're performing well in all of your workouts, you're like, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a heavyweight. I don't care if it's a guy in my weight class. Just put someone in front of me. I'm going to beat him. And I think that that's what led to him taking that choice, making that choice to fight Paul Felder tonight.
And he put on a grueling pace. That was the 7th fight of his that went the full 25 minutes. It was his 11th UFC main event. So the lightweight division once again has Rafael dos Anjos to deal with. Let's talk about our co-main event. That's in your division of the welterweight division. Chaos Williams and Abdul Razak Al Hassan. All right, I think a lot of people expected violence, and they expected it maybe to end quickly, but I don't think anyone was expecting another blistering knockout by Chaos Williams like he did in his debut.
That one didn't surprise me at all. I thought the over-under should be half a round. Usually over-under when it comes to guys that are into sports betting like me, it's like it's usually 1.5 rounds over-under.
How about half a minute?
It was half. It should have been a half a minute over-under. But I mean, the one thing Al Hassan did that led to that knockout is he threw that leg kick without putting punches in front of it. And you put yourself in danger when you essentially throw a kick without punches in front of it. Your opponent has the opportunity to time that entry and step in with that big right hand like he did right there. And that's not taking anything away from Chaos Williams. That was impeccable timing. Al Hassan had thrown one leg kick before. And so he saw, he throws that leg kick again. I'm going to time it. I'm going to step in with that right hand. And he did just that. He put Al Hassan to sleep, got himself another $50,000. Yeah. 2 wins in the UFC. That's hard enough. Getting one's hard. Getting 2 in a row is harder, even harder. So good for him. Big win for Chaos Williams.
It joins just a handful of fighters to have 2 wins in under a minute by knockout in the welterweight division. And there's some big names on that list, including Johnny Hendricks and some other certainly heavy hitters. Dana White certainly had the reaction that I think we all did after that fight. Basically lifted him off the ground with that right hand when he connected.
Yeah, I mean, Al Hassan, he threw that kick, and he threw the kick kind of shelled up, and I mean, it just kind of sent him back. And it's what we call a double knockout. When you knock a guy and he falls back and he hits his head, that's essentially, that's a double KO. So, you know, he got the 1 knockout from the punch, but it's a double KO from the way Al Hassan fell down and hit his head, and hopefully he's okay, but good stuff for Chaos Williams.
1 and done for the fighter out of Detroit, Michigan. Let's hear Dana.
That was one of the most vicious knockouts I've ever seen.
One of the most vicious knockouts Dana White has ever seen. Who could argue?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I'm not arguing either. That was pure violence, and it happened in less than a minute.
Yeah, 30 seconds for this one. What took him so long? It took him 27 seconds for his first UFC win against Alex Morono. That came back in February. All right, where do you put Chaos Williams next after a performance like that?
You know, stylistically, there's a lot of fun fights for him. I mean, there's guys like Nico Price. That would be a fun fight. You know, you put him in these action fights before you put him in contention. That's how you build a guy up, is you take a guy like him that's a knockout artist. He's a big puncher. You put him in there with those guys until he can separate himself from the pack, and then you test him, see if he's capable. I'm not saying he's a top 15 fighter yet. You got lengths and strides to make before you put yourself in the upper echelon with those guys in that division. But you put him in some fun fights. A Nico Price fight, I think, would be a lot of fun.
That's a good idea. All right, fellow Michigan native Heidi Andral joined Chaos Williams.
Thank you very much. Well, Chaos, you said to me yesterday, I don't think it's going to be as fast as my first one. You were right. It was 3 seconds. That one was 3 seconds faster in your first one. Really, did you expect that to happen?
Like I said, you know, I was gonna, you know, that's what I wanted to happen. That was my ideal way of, you know, ending the fight, ending it quick and fast, not taking any punishment. But, you know, I was ready to go 15 minutes. You know, I was in shape to go 15 minutes. And, you know, like I said, if he made a mistake, he got to pay.
I saw you walking to the octagon, and then even once you got into the octagon, it was like all business. What was going through your mind before this fight started?
You know, just this is just another day in the office. You know, just continue to do what I've been doing to get here. You know, just be extraordinary. You know, just be special, and take advantage of the opportunity.
In that moment, though, are you sizing him up? Are you looking for things when you were staring him down?
No, you know,
or is that a mental game?
It's just me. You know, when I get in there, it's just I can't keep my eyes off of, you know, the person. I'm just tunnel vision focused. I'm just locked in, and you know, it's just me and you. Even if we had 30,000, 20,000 people in there, all I see is him.
Most definitely. You know, I saw as you left the octagon, Dana White stopped you, said something. What did he say to you?
He was saying that's one of the best knockouts he's seen.
And I saw a big smile on your face. What does that mean to you coming from the Boston, just your second UFC fight?
You know, it means a lot. You know, like I said, my first fight, you know, this wasn't no fluke. You know, I'm here. You know, point blank period, I'm here. You know, I'm in the future, man, you know. That's it.
It's a very competitive division. Yes. What would be the ideal for you? Who would you like to face next?
I mean, whoever they put in front of me. You know, I'm not really the type to call nobody out. It's just whoever they put in front of me, it is what it is. You know, the time right, the money right, and everything, you know, let's get it popping. I'm here.
You've had 2 quick finishes. Would you be game to do it again if they called you for a short notice opponent?
I mean, yeah, I would.
All right. There you have it, guys. Chaos Williams getting it done in 30 seconds here tonight. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Heidi. Do we look good enough to hang with Chaos Williams?
I don't know. That was a nice get-up he had going there. But one thing he should do better, I always tell these guys this, I can't emphasize it enough. When you win a big fight, you can get almost any opponent you want within reason if you ask for it. I know it's out of character to call people out, but sometimes you got to take advantage. When you get that microphone after a fight, you get these opportunities to tell the world, say your thanks, say your praise, but call your shot, take the fights you want to take. You can get a lot of the opponents that you want to fight in that moment. It's not the same when the lights are off and you're back home and you're on Twitter and stuff. It's not the same. Take advantage of that time on the microphone.
One of the coldest quotes of the year came from Chaos Williams. He said, "People keep sleeping on me and the doctors will keep waking them up." Wow. Remember we told that to Bisping.
That's
all
nice
right,
one.
back to our main event. Paul Felder went all 5 rounds with Rafael dos Anjos, and he joined Heidi Andro.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Well, Paul, you sat down and you said, I didn't win, but I'm happy.
I'm happy. I took this fight on, I took it on 5 days notice. Let's be real, I had about 3 days to make weight, and now that it's all said and done, I can kind of stop lying about things and be a little more honest. I said a little bit about it in the post-fight to Mike, but the weight was more than what everybody thinks it was. I mean, I went for an hour and 5-minute run doing an uphill gradient workout for my triathlon training, and I weighed 178 after the run without drinking anything during the run. So I probably woke up on Monday morning at least 182, 183. So you'll say, well, let's be, skimpy about it and say I was 180 on Monday. So from 180 on Monday to 156, and first one's on the scale on Friday.
Yeah, you were. First one there at 9 a.m. sharp. I want to talk about, you said you hadn't stepped in an MMA gym in 4 months. That's what you told Mike. Yeah. So, what are you going to do now? You said I'm back. Are you going to go back and do something? Yeah.
So listen, I mean, ideally, I wished that I would have done a little more, right? I was talking to Sean Brady and the guys in Philly, and obviously Duke, where I go and do my camps. And I've had a good heart-to-heart with all my team, both in Philly and Milwaukee this week. And I needed to be inspired again. I felt this sport breaks you, man. It's tough. You guys know that. Everybody sees what this does. I see it day in and day out when I'm calling these fights. I know what the athletes go through. And I needed something to motivate me again. And when this call came through and me and Butler, my manager, talked about it, and I talked to Christine, my girlfriend, it was just like, man, I thought of all the things that are going wrong, and I get this opportunity, and here I am. I lost, but I feel like if I had done more, I could have won that fight. I feel like 100% on with a little more MMA training, but now I also feel like I've learned a little bit about myself to keep my lifestyle much healthier. I'm obsessed with this triathlon training. Shout out to Lionel Sanders out there, who got me really motivated as a pro triathlete. And my coach David, who's been helping me just get in the fittest shape I've ever been in. I mean, that's a 5-round fight with no grappling. I just went with a black belt and a former champion on the ground and didn't eat much ground and pound, let's be honest, right? Arm triangle was close. I was a little nervous there. And he did hurt me to the liver once. And a lot of that had to do with the weight cut. I woke up today and I was like, if he catches me good to the liver, I might go down. And Duke's like, well, just counter the hell out of him and we'll be all right.
And you did.
Yeah.
And you most definitely did. You now have a good litmus. You stacked yourself up against one of the best, and you hung in there. And not only did you hang in there, you looked incredibly sharp, Paul. Congratulations. I know it isn't a win, but a really impressive performance.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'll be back soon.
All right. Brendan, back to you.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Paul, as we take a look at the stats from these 5-round main event. Again, the striking numbers in favor of Felder. He was over 100 total strikes, 93 to the head, but it was the takedowns, 6, and the ground control time and the clinch control time along the fence, as we spoke about at the top of the show. Rafael dos Anjos doing enough to get it done.
Yeah, man, just showed a full, complete performance. Like, Felder edged him out in head strikes, but he beat him, he edged him out in the grappling, and he edged him out in the clinch control. And that's something I thought Felder would shine with, and he did well. Felder got his elbows off. He had some good moments in the clinch, but that's kind of more Felder's wheelhouse, is fighting in the clinch, and RDA kind of matched him there. So it was just impressive stuff from both guys. And the lead up into this fight, Felder was talking about when he took the fight, he was on the treadmill. He had this ice-cold Gatorade lined up for when he got done with this run, and he ended up taking the fight. So I hope he has that ice-cold Gatorade tonight, maybe a couple cold ones.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
I think he does. He certainly does. And up next for him, some commentary work, and then that triathlon in March. So we'll see where Paul Felder returns in the lightweight division. Also for Dos Anjos, who just might find himself in the top 10. Main card, we spoke about the knockout win for Chaos Williams. Ashley Yoder going 3 rounds against Miranda Granger. Sean Strickland and Corey McKenna getting it done as well. Let's go to Ashley Yoder taking on Miranda Granger, these strawweights. There's several standout strawweights tonight. Big night for Ashley Yoder.
Yeah, it was, and this was the prospect versus the veteran. Ashley Yoder being the veteran, Granger being the prospect, obviously. And what Yoder did is she cleaned up a lot of her tendencies that she had in the past, where she would get into good positions. She's really good at taking back, but she'd get in these advantageous positions, and she would fall off and lose position, end up on bottom, and end up losing these positions. But she did a good job, especially in the third round. She took the back, she locked in a body triangle, she secured that round, but ultimately, she just fought a lot more sound in the grappling department. She was very stingy with positions. She threatened with some good submissions. And one thing that I said, like I just said, she held top position very, very well. Cleaned up her game, beat a prospect, got a win. Impressive stuff from Ashley Yoder.
Yeah, maybe 5 more seconds until she notched another submission victory. Instead, it goes down as a unanimous decision win, including a 30-26 scorecard. This was a catchweight bout. Brendan Allen was supposed to fight last week. Sean Strickland did fight 2 weeks ago. How about Sean Strickland? He's 22-3. Do not sleep on this guy.
No, absolutely not. And this was the stereotypical striker versus grappler. Strickland being the striker and Allen being the grappler. But Strickland almost took him into and took Allen to beat Allen in his own wheelhouse. He got a couple takedowns of his own, but he did what he does best. That's manage the space. Just slid right out of the way of Allen's punches, where even the punches that Allen landed, he would be sliding back to where he could roll them off and he could counter him back. And you can see he finished up there with a couple of big right hands. 2 back-to-back wins and some profanity from Sean Strickland right there. Good stuff from Sean Strickland. It's good to see him back in the win column
again.
He's
not going to hold back when it comes to the trash talk department, but his full focus was on Brendan Allen. He's got 9 wins in the UFC. Most of his work rate has been in the welterweight division. Moves up to middleweight 2 weeks ago, and tonight he looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's the right weight class for him, is 185 pounds. I mean, this is a guy that he's big at 85, and 170 pounds is just unreasonable, and I can attest to that. It's one thing to make a shift from a weight class where it's a 10-pound difference. 15 pounds is a lot of weight. Sean Strickland's in the right weight class. Had this fight been at 185 pounds, I think that he could have found himself with a number next to his name come this Monday.
Right. We'll see what happens next for Sean Strickland, but after the victory, joined Heidi Androl.
Thank you very much. Well, Sean, let's just take it back. You've had a whirlwind, not just a couple of weeks. You go back to this accident you had, and then you come in and you beat Marshman a couple weeks ago, and then you come out here on short notice and you put on a performance like that. How are you feeling right now? What are your emotions like?
He was a really tough guy, and as I was walking out here, all I wanted to do was break him. And it was the fact that I finished him and I broke him in the second. That's what I'm happy about, because that guy is an unbreakable human being. You watch his fights, he does not break. And I'm just so stoked that I was able to do it. I was the one that did it.
Yeah, you told me yesterday, you said, I can't wait to back this guy up.
Oh, yeah.
And he's tough as nails. So you knew that going out there. You also said that if you were in a grappling tournament with him, you'd probably beat him. So you beat him on the ground, you beat him on the feet, but what was the game plan?
Yeah, I don't go in game plans. I just go in there and fight. Honestly, you just go in there, and the moment you have a game plan, something bad happens, it goes out the window. So I just go in there saying I'm going to do my best, and he's going to do his best. And I would beat him in a wrestling match, a boxing match, kickboxing match, a jiu-jitsu match. I'm better than him in every single way. It was just going out there and doing it, and I thought I did that.
You most definitely did. You were relaxing on vacation, having some barbecue when you get the call. What's next for you?
Oh,
a little barbecue, a little vacation?
No, actually, one of my good buddies at Syndicate, Corey Hendricks, is fighting in 2 weeks. So yes. I said if I didn't take damage, I'd be back in there training. So I'll be back in Monday training, and then I'll talk to my management in the UFC, and we'll plan out what's next for me.
You said taking this fight, you looked at your bank account.
Oh, my God.
Considering the fact that you did that and the way things are, go ahead.
Let me tell you guys this.
Okay.
When I say I looked at my bank account, so after my motorcycle accident, I didn't collect a check for 2 years. I was maxing out credit cards, so when I say oh, my bank account, I went from flat broke, struggling to I just won 2 fights, So I'm just happy to be in a position where I'm not stressed for the first time in 2 years of my life.
Yeah, that's incredible. Well, so if Sean or Mick give you a call, can you add some more zeros in the coming weeks? Are you game?
Oh, I don't know. I'd like to take a little time off, but yeah, no, let's go. I feel like I'm on fire right now. Let's keep it going. A couple weeks, I'd like to take off.
All right, there you go. Give him a couple weeks, guys. All right. Congratulations, guys. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Heidi. He turned pro at 16 years old. He wasted no time, and he's gonna take home an extra $50,000. I mean, these were the easiest bonuses to give out, right? Chaos Williams in 30 seconds, a knockout. Of course, he's getting one. Sean Strickland with that second-round knockout of Brendan Allen, and then Paul Felder and Rafael Dos Anjos go all 5 rounds in a no-brainer. Fight of the night, Rafael Dos Anjos, huge performance. He is live downstairs with Heidi.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Well, 7 hours of Octagon time. You passed Frankie Edgar, and tomorrow's your 12-year anniversary with the UFC. Rafael, what keeps you going and motivated after all these years and all the accomplishments you've had in this sport?
Yeah, first of all, it's I want to give all the honor and the glory for my Savior Jesus Christ. He strengthened me. You know, I've been on this game for so long, and I feel like I have a lot of things to still like done. You know, like I got a lot on me, and my kids, my family. I do it for them.
I know that you kind of touched on this with Michael Bisping after the fight, but you know, you get a different opponent. You had back-to-back camps. A different opponent on 5 days' notice. A totally different style in Paul Felder than what you were expecting to face. What was your mindset? Now you can be real candid. What was going through your mind over this past week? Because I know it had to be stressful.
Yeah, I was talking to my coach just now, and I had to become a wrestler. I was training to defend takedowns for over 2 months, and all of a sudden, I had to become a wrestler. I wanna, you know, I don't wanna be like exchange punches and kick with Paul for 5 rounds. He knows he's very technical. That's his game. I don't wanna play his game. And in 5 days, I have to make the, you know, like I felt the difference between Southpaw and Orthodox. You know, Paul is a right-handed, and I kind of struggled a little bit in the beginning, but I was able to take him down and fight the fight on my pace.
Most definitely. It was getting him to the cage and getting those takedowns that helped you secure this victory. But give us your thoughts on Paul Felder.
Yeah, he's tough as nail, and I think it's really hard to fight when the guy, like he said, he got nothing to lose. Yeah. You know, and it's really hard to fight the guys against, you know, with that mindset. And I had a lot on the line, and Paul like comes strong, and you know, from a couple moments in the fight, I thought he gonna quit. Well, he kept pushing. He's a you know, big heart. Most
definitely no quitting, Paul Felder. You know, you look at this division. I know you're coming for what once was yours. That lightweight title. I know you mentioned Conor McGregor. He's got a fight slated with Dustin Poirier in January. First, give me your prediction on that one.
Yeah, I think it's a good matchup for Conor. He beat Justin once. I think he's gonna beat him again, and it's a very good matchup for him. But like Khabib leaving the division, it will leave the division wide open. I think if you look at the rankings and look at the guys ahead of me, we have a lot of interim champions. Tony, Gage, and Justin Poirier. They all interim champions. The last 2 real champs on that division was me and Conor, and we were scheduled to fight once. And I believe in the division. I think that could be a fight to make.
Would you want to wait for Conor and have that be the next fight potentially? I know there's a lot of guys who want Conor, or would one of those other guys up there in the top of the division be interesting to you as well? Yeah,
I want, you know, I have my eyes on the gold, and whoever will lead me to that gold, I'm on it. As always, I don't pick fights. Tonight was my 30th UFC appearance, and whoever leads me to the gold, I'm on it.
Excellent. Well, it's great to have you back in the lightweight division. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Heidi. Rafael Dos Anjos will find himself somewhere in the mix here as we show you the top 10 lightweights. His victory over Kevin Lee, remember, came actually in the welterweight division. What do you like next for RDA? He wants the belt, he wants the huge fights, obviously. What do you think might be next, though?
Well, the way my mind works for myself is, and when I get in the rankings, I'm always looking to fight ahead of me. So I'm just looking ahead of Paul Felder right now. And I think a Dan Hooker fight makes a lot of sense. You know, Hooker coming off a tough fight against
Poirier. Yep.
Poirier, yeah, the loss to Poirier. I think that's a fight that makes sense. So I'm looking at the guys ahead of Paul Felder for RDA, and I think he deserves that. I mean, this is a guy that's been around. He's a class act. He's fought the who's who of guys at lightweight. Give him a shot at a guy in the top 5. Let him make another crack at a UFC world title, and there's a storyline there. You know, him and Conor fighting again, there's a storyline there, and you can make that happen, but he's going to take a couple more wins. I think he should bask in this win tonight, not look too far ahead, enjoy this a little bit, and then get to the drawing board later.
Fellow Brazilian Charles Oliveira sitting there at number 6 as well. Possible interesting matchup between those black belts.
Yeah, that could be really interesting. Charles Oliveira versus anybody's.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
a lot of
people
fun.
forget that guy's on a hot streak right now, and he's the all-time submission leader in the UFC. There's a lot of big fights there for him, but the spotlight's on Charles Oliveira. The spotlight's on RDA tonight. Good stuff from the former champion.
Big time performance for Rafael dos Anjos, who's back at lightweight for the first time in 4 years, and what a statement he made. There were some Dana White's Contender Series alums on the card tonight, 2 of them to be exact. They both got their hand raised. We'll start with Kay Hansen and Corey McKenna, the 2 youngest women in the UFC. They're 2 of the 3 youngest fighters. Chase Hooper is in the middle of them. Kay Hansen is about a month older than Chase Hooper. These went 3 hard rounds, and you had a unanimous decision. Some surprised with this one because of the ground control time for Kay Hansen.
Yeah, you know, it came as a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought it would be a split decision for either female, but, you know, the fight was very close. I think that obviously Hansen had the edge in the grappling, but I feel like that McKenna landed the cleaner shot. She landed very flush, you know, but it was just a very close contested fight. I think either way this decision went, I think there people still be upset about it. So it was good stuff from both females. The ceiling is still high for both of them. They're still going to be contenders. Wouldn't be surprised if one of these females gets a gold strap around their waist someday. I'm saying that high of praise for both of them. So we'll see what happens, but good stuff from both of them. Even Kay Hansen should keep her head held high. It was a tough fight. Good stuff tonight.
Deepest division on the women's side is the strawweight division. They got 2 new ones coming hard for some greatness in Kay Hansen and Corey McKenna, both just 21 years old. Will be interesting to see where their careers go from here. Tony Gravely made his second UFC appearance. His last time out was in January in Raleigh. It was a fight of the night against Brett Johns. Great back and forth fight. The background on this guy, 2-time state champion in Virginia in high school wrestling, put it to good use tonight.
Yeah, I fought on the same card as Tony Gravely. And just a class act, really nice guy. And the story of this fight is just wrestling. I mean, he really chained together the wrestling really well. Not only was it the wrestling offense, it was the wrestling defense, as you saw there. He stuffed the shot, got a nice throw, but he just really strung the takedowns together very well, controlled positions, and just cruised his way to a decision through his grappling. That's his bread and butter, and he used it very well tonight, and the pace was impressive. I mean, you would think that he would have been barbecued and tired by the end of the fight, but he kept the pace going from bell to bell. Good stuff from the former Dana White Contender Series vet.
Yeah, and he made the move down to American Top Team with his wife. They're from a small rural town in Virginia. I said, what's it like down at American Top Team? And he's like, well, there's a lot more people down there. Yeah. You know, obviously the training's good. He was like culture shock from the difference in the way of life, but Tony Gravely, it's working out for him as he gets his first UFC victory. Our prelims tonight look like this. How about Kanako Murata, UFC debut for the former wrestler, now MMA star from Japan. She goes 3 rounds with Randa Marcos and gets the victory. Alex Morono, Reese McKee. That one was a fun one, and we started the night at heavyweight with Dontel Mays getting the victory over Roque Martinez. That's where we'll start this highlight rip here. Dontel Mays, he's been working on the strength and conditioning so that he can keep the work rate high the deeper the fight goes, and he had just enough tonight against Roque Martinez.
Yeah, you know, the thing that impressed me most about Mays was he was able to switch stances a lot. He worked from the right-handed stance, but he did his best work from the southpaw stance. He did a good job keeping Roque away with the push kick. Roque was coming in the pocket, throwing big combinations, going to the head and the body, really coming on strong with the volume, but Mays did a good job using the push kick, keeping the space, and just fought well from the southpaw stance, cruised his way to a very nice, smooth decision win.
Randa Marcos, Kanako Murata. Murata was the favorite in this one, former Invicta FC champion. A lot of people are high on her as a prospect.
Yeah, and this was the other vet versus prospect fight with with obviously Marcos being the vet, Murata being the up and comer. But you know, it was all wrestling. I mean, Murata is a former junior world champion in wrestling, and that was on full display tonight. But the thing that impressed me the most is she showed the new wrinkles in her striking game by working with Kieran Fitzgibbons down at CSA. She landed some very good strikes on the feet, but went to her wrestling, as you can see right there, with that right-legged inside trip, which is one of my favorite takedowns. Very slick stuff from the former world champion.
Clean sweep of the scorecards, 30-27 across the board for Kanako Murata. You mentioned the wrestling acumen. The striking was about the same, but 4 takedowns and more than a full round of ground control time for the fighter out of Japan, Kanako Murata. All right, Alex Morono, Reese McKee. This one was a slugfest back and forth, had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you know, and the thing that impressed me most about Alex Morono was the footwork and the timing on the right hand. He did a really good job landing the overhand shot. I mean, Reese McKee, he's a big guy for 170 pounds, but Morono found a way to land. Not only did he land the overhand, he was able to land the jab on the taller, lengthier opponent. He stayed in his face. And this is a high-paced fighter in Alex Morono. Usually he's known for his grappling and getting that nice guillotine he has, but he put a pace on him, landed the nice overhand, cruised to a decision, and he almost won fight of the night.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the leader in the clubhouse until that main event. Of course, also had the lost mouth guard, not pictured in the highlight. Mouth guard went under the octagon. Coming up next Saturday from the UFC Apex, it's UFC 255 on ESPN+. Davis and Figueiredo, Alex Perez for the men's flyweight title in the main event. Valentina Shevchenko and Jennifer Maia will battle it out for the women's flyweight title. Flyweight's on parade. Let's talk about that main event. Davis and Figueiredo. Man, is he violent, and he's trying to defend that title for the first time.
Well, one man's loss is another man's opportunity. Cody Garbrandt had to pull out of the fight with an injury, and I hope he's recovering well. Shout out to my man, No Love. But Alex Perez, way to capitalize on the opportunity. He's on a great winning streak. He's a very dangerous guy. And Davis and Figueiredo, we saw in his last fight against Joseph Benavidez, this guy is the real deal. He has the potential to hold the belt at flyweight for a very long time. But Perez, way to jump into Cody's slot, fight for the title. Big opportunity for Alex Perez, and I think it's going to be a very, very exciting main event. It should get more credit than what people are giving it. It's going to be an exciting fight. I think people are going to be very surprised next Saturday.
If memory serves, Alex Perez, I believe, has 6 wins in the octagon. He's finished 4 of them. He is a finisher as well. And Davis and Figueiredo, he carries power like no other at 125 pounds.
100%. The one thing that Alex Perez can do is he can match the physical attributes that Davidson has, because Davidson's a big flyweight. But if you've ever seen Alex Perez, oh man, he's a big 135 pounder, so he can match him physically. He's got a good submission. He's a dual threat. He's good on the feet, but he's got the submission skills. And I think that's going to be what it takes to take Davidson out of his game. Is you got to take him down. You got to try to beat him in the grappling, but that's hard enough as it is. We've seen him get submission wins in the octagon. So Alex Perez has a tall order ahead of him, but I think he's capable of getting the job done. I'm excited to see this division revamped, reinvigorated. A lot of good potential, a lot of good guys coming up the rankings as well. So it's going to be a fun main event.
Alex Perez looking to make history. He can become the first champion in the UFC that came from Dana White's Contender Series. He did so a few years back. We'll see if he can cash in on that UFC gold. Valentina Shevchenko, she's been dominant. Once again, a huge favorite. I think minus 1,200 sitting there as the favorite against Jennifer Maia, who's off a submission win over JoJo Calderwood to earn this title shot.
Yeah, you know, and JoJo Calderwood was slated to fight for the title, and she wanted to stay active. She didn't want to wait for Valentina.